Alright, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Alright, I think the mic is working. Right, I forgot. We do not use subtitles for this game because there's way too much text on it and I don't want it to overlap with the actual game text at all. But anyway, hey everyone, welcome to another stream. My name is Ruka, and today we are going to be continuing our playthrough of Shibuya Scramble 428. Or is it 428 Shibuya Scramble? It's 428 Shibuya Scramble, apparently. Except it doesn't seem really like that on the title over here. So I'm a little confused sometimes, yeah, on how to read this. But yeah, so we started this weird visual novel last time, and I thought it was pretty fun, so we're continuing again this week until we finish it. We did leave with a bunch of cliffhangers last time though, so we're gonna hopefully resolve the cliffhangers from last time and see what other mess we get ourselves into. But before I mention that, there might be a little bit of, well, there might be someone coming in the middle of the stream to take care of some things around the place, so I might have to step out for a little bit when that does happen, just FYI. Other than that, let's see. Pre-chat stream. I haven't been really good about dragging this out, but yeah, let's just say stuff has happened yesterday and my hand is hurting a little bit, but I'll explain that another time. I don't think it's too important right now, but just FYI. Ooh, that's looking gnarly. I'm glad you can't see this. That is looking a little bit gnarly. Anyway, let me see. Let me switch over to my smaller thing here. Now it doesn't sound, the volume doesn't sound very loud right now, but it does get pretty loud in the game itself, so I might have to adjust it a little bit when we get there. But yeah, we're just gonna get started. Let me go over here. Quit the game, no. Quit taking my emote hotkeys as that. Alright, so let's see. Loading game. We have a lot of bad ends, apparently. We haven't had any good end yet because we haven't finished the game yet. So, there's that. Alright, let me see. There are a couple of threads to fix up here before we continue. Speaking of continue, I think, yep, we have a keep out on Aichi. We have a to be continued with Kano. And we have bad ends on everyone else. Fair enough. Okay, I guess let's do a quick summary here before we get started. What is happening in this game? Basically what happened in this game is that it's too loud right now and I need to lower down the audio just a little bit so you can hear. And I need to lower my end so I can hear myself. Alright, so let's back up again a little bit more. So what's happening in this game? Is that there has been a kidnapping, and there's been a kidnapping of a twin sister, and then other said twin sister is trying to get her other sister out of this situation, and apparently there's a whole international conspiracy going on with foreigners coming into Japan and kidnapping people for money, for something else. I have no idea. But here we have Osawa. Osawa is father of said twin girls, and something about a virus. I have no idea what that's about. We also have here Kano. Kano is one of the detectives working on the case of said kidnapping, and he is also in very precarious situation with his, I I guess soon, supposed to be father-in-law. Not quite father-in-law yet, hasn't accepted him for some reason, but it's interfering with the case, so we probably gotta fix that up. We have here Achi. Achi is basically with one of the twins, trying to get her out of the situation with the international crime gang or whatever have you call it. Apparently, they are getting along well with each other, and he's not the smartest person in the book, in the shed, or what? How does that thing go? Anyway, they're together, running away, and he's just basically helping out. He's just a random guy in all this, as far as that's concerned. I'm just explaining right now. And let's see, who do we have here? Minorikawa. Minorikawa is, I'm guessing, a freelance writer? Question mark. He has nothing to do with any of this yet, so I'm kind of curious how that's gonna play out. But Kano did interrupt his taxi ride, so to save a fellow I guess acquaintance, Kano interrupted his taxi ride, made him late by 5 minutes, and his acquaintance needs to be saved. Okay. And then we have Tama, also completely unrelated to what is happening in the game, is just a girl in a mascot costume and just trying to make ends meet. Nothing whatsoever to do with what is going on. But anyway, let's go with Kano first, because I think Kano has something to do with Minorikawa, with the whole taxi thing, so let's go back. I think what has happened, there is a choice here to be made. Right here. Head to cafe, do not head to cafe. So the choice in this particular section is that his girlfriend called him in the middle of a freaking case to meet up with her and her dad in a cafe. Now, dad apparently used to be an ex-police officer. He's retired now, and does not want to give up his daughter to this guy for whatever reason. And he's never met this guy. Kano has never met the girlfriend's dad, because the dad keeps on refusing to meet him until today. So it's like, oh, there's a rare chance, let me go try to meet them up. But what we did, let's see. There were plenty of detectives still tailing the suspect. Yeah, he's on the case right now. Taking 15 minutes or so to meet with Shizuo wouldn't be such a big deal. Shizuo is the dad. There's my big chance. I need to go with Rumi, so I guess it blacks out the choices we've done before. But if we pick this one, we interrupt Minorikawa with his taxi ride, so we don't want to do that. Instead, we want to do this instead. No, focus on the job. Don't meet up with your girlfriend's dad. That's probably a bad idea anyway. Just apologize and meet up later. Except dad is gonna take this personally, so that's a different story. We'll figure out what happens there. No, right now I have to focus on the job. Right now I have got a job to focus on. Kano shook his head to clear out the foolish impulses. What the hell had he been thinking? A girl's life was on the line. I don't know anything about The Sims. Marrying Rumi was more important to him than anything. But now wasn't the time. Time and place, everyone. Time and place. Besides, now that he thought about it, running out on a critical investigation to meet with the old man probably wasn't going to score him any points. Rumi's dad didn't strike him as someone who'd approve of shirking one's responsibilities. Kano would just have wrapped up this kidnapping case a little ahead of schedule. Then he could have a proper sit-down with Shizuo. As he considered his plan, he caught sight of the man with a attaché case walking by. Right, there's a case being chased about right now for some reason. I don't know why we're chasing the case, because as far as I know, the case with money could have a bug on it to track a GPS thing, to track down where the kidnappers are going. But why are we chasing them down? Why don't we just wait for them to, stop and then go after them? I don't know. I don't know what the heck is going on here, but they're still going after the case instead of the person who is actually after Rumi for some odd reason. Was it Rumi? Is her name Rumi? No, Rumi's the girlfriend. The girl who is with Achi. I keep forgetting what her name is. We'll get it when we get to Achi. Further up along Dogenzaka, in the direction the perp was heading, was where Yamate Dori joined Route 246. Oh, no, wait, we have 428. So what's 246? Maybe the guy was planning to meet up with a getaway car. No, wait, hold on. If that were the plan, why would the gang have ditched the motorcycle earlier? Kano started tailing the man, racking his brain all the while. The suspect turned down a narrow side road. He wasn't heading towards Yamate Dori or Route 246 at all, but towards Shibuya Station. I guess this is the same path as if we didn't go and try to get into a taxi cab, but let's go through it anyway as a review of what happened last time, because even I kind of forgot. What in the world was going on? It was starting to feel like the crooks were just messing with the investigation team. Kano radioed Kuze on the wireless. Sir, I don't think there's any point in seeing where this guy leads us anymore. That's not your call to make. Keep watching him. Sir, this is a waste of time. That girl might be in danger if... Kano's argument was cut short as he saw the man hand off the attaché case to yet another foreigner. Again? How many times were these criminals going to pull this trick? The detectives broke into two groups to follow both of the men. I wonder if I could have done a jump. Kano followed the man with the attaché case, who eventually led him back to the area around Shibuya Station. Rumi and Shizuo would be waiting at a nearby cafe right now. Kano tried to remember the name. That's right, it was called Lautrec. He kept his eye out on the place by that name as he tailed the target. Before long, he did spot the cafe. Its large glass window offered a view of the cozy interior. The sign out front read Lautrec. Looked like this was the place. The man with the case was at the intersection waiting for the light to change. Kano took the opportunity to peer inside. He spotted Rumi right away. He was facing away from him. So the man seated across from her must be her father. Kano realized he'd never seen a picture of him. Shizuo grew organic produce up in Nagano nowadays, but until 2 years ago, he'd been a detective with the investigation division. Rumi looked up at her father for his distinguished police career and always spoke quite highly of him. Kano had figured that if he had become a policeman, Rumi might appreciate that. It was a simple impulse that led him to join the force. He had also figured that public servants could stay afloat even in times of recession, and that his physical training would serve him well in such a line of work. Once he was a policeman, he thought he could approach Shizuo with his head high and ask for his blessing in marrying his daughter. But after Rumi graduated from university, Shizuo had up and retired from police work. Even Rumi didn't know why he made the decision. Kano had traveled to Nagano many times to ask Shizuo for permission to marry her. But the only response he ever got was, "I'm not giving away my daughter to any cop." Kano had never even gotten past the intercom before her father turned him away. Years on the force had nearly made Kano lose sight of what had driven him to become a policeman in the first place. And now, the chance to meet Shizuo face to face had finally come. Right, he only did this so he could marry his daughter. But now he's kind of lost in the grime. He peered intently into the cafe. Across from Rumi sat an older man with a grim expression. Just who was this hard-faced fellow? It took a lot to rattle Kano, but the guy looked scary. Not really. Could this really be his sweet little Rumi's father? The prospect of meeting him later filled Kano with sudden dread. Anyway, the man went into the JR Shibuya station and stood before the ticket machine. Right, this guy. It looked like he was planning on boarding the train. A scene from a popular movie about a kidnapping sprang into Kano's mind. The crook had made off with the ransom money after it was tossed out the window of the train. What if the guy managed to get outside the dragnet and pull a stunt like this? It looked like the suspect is going to board the train. Kano informed Kuze over the wireless. Make sure you stay honest too. Apparently, Kuze still wanted to string the perp along for a bit. pursue. We'll reestablish our dragnet around whatever station he gets off at. The man purchased a ticket from the machine and passed through the gate. There was no way to tell what station he'd bought a ticket for, but it looked like he was heading toward clockwise along the Yamanote loop. Kano used his prepaid card and made his way through the ticket gate as well. An announcement chime signaled the imminent arrival of a train up on the platform. The man made his way up the stairs looking calm and composed. He showed no sign of checking for pursuers. Kano hurried after him. The man stopped at the very edge of the platform to await the train. Not ideal. There was no way for Kano to get close without sticking out like a sore thumb. The train glided up the platform. The man gave a quick look around as he stepped on board. Kano followed. Trains to Yamanote line didn't stop for long, and soon they were on their way. If there was supposed to be a jump, I guess, to Minorikawa, but I don't think I saw it. I wonder. Glancing around, Kano noticed other MPD investigators who had slipped aboard the train as well. The suspect stood behind the driver's compartment, staring contemplatively at the scenery outside. The man's composure only served to rattle Kano more. A man in a gaudy necktie walked past Kano, talking on his cell phone. "Yes, everything's going fine on this end," he said. "There's no need to worry." In his other hand, he carried the same sort of attaché case as the man they were tailing. He headed right towards the driver's compartment and stood next to the suspect. Playing Japanese commercials again? How much did I miss? Nothing. You didn't miss anything. I just chose a different, what do you call this? I chose a different option for Kano instead of going straight to the cafe to meet up with the girlfriend and dad and interrupt a taxi ride that someone else was on. I chose the other option and just focused on the case. And right now we're kind of in review mode, so this is basically the same thing that happens. It's just one extra scene where he tries to stop a taxi from before. But we're going through the scene again just to do a little refresher on what the heck is going on here. I don't think that has anything to do with anything, Workshop. Honestly, I don't think it has anything to do with anything. Well, now that's not suspicious. Kano leaned his head subtly, straining to make out what he could of the phone conversation at the other end of the car. Yes, of course. 225 pages, all fully proofread. 225. That was police jargon for kidnapping. Was this guy in cahoots with a kidnapper? Maybe the criminals had planned an attaché case swap. Kano watched the newcomer like a hawk. But rather than making contact with the suspect, the man turned around and strolled back the way he'd come. He hadn't done anything suspicious at all. Yes, right. Understood. Hi. Kano stole a glimpse of the man's face as he passed. He stopped and looked at Kano, seemingly aware that he was being watched. Kano decided to stare him down or look away nonchalantly. Last time I did this, I stared him down, and I don't think that really changed anything. I'm gonna keep staring him down for now, unless looking away does something else. Actually, no. Let me try looking away nonchalantly. Maybe he's gonna continue his business, and then we can listen in on him. Last time we stared him down, he just basically went, "Oh yeah, I'm not supposed to talk on the phone in the train. I'm sorry about that. We'll just look away nonchalantly." Kano decided to look away nonchalantly. But his anxiety got the better of him, and after a moment, he turned his gaze right back. Soon the two men were locked in a staring contest. My apologies. Oh, it's the same thing. He shut his phone with a click. I know it's rather rude to talk on one's cell phone when you're on a train. That's just common decency. The man affected a smile, then headed back to the car from which he'd come. It is kind of weird for people to walk up and down train cars in Japan. That usually does not happen. Sheesh, I guess I overreacted. Hey, Sasayama! Sasayama with the really weird otaku outfit. You gotta stop staring at everyone. An oddly dressed passenger murmured into Kano's ear. Blend into your surroundings more. Sasayama? When'd you get here? The t-shirt is the weirdest t-shirt I've ever seen. I have no idea what to make of it, other than a very badly disguised otaku get-up. His partner had somehow found time to change into his disguise. The steely expression in his face was at odds with his anime nerd get-up, or otaku get-up, if you actually know the word. Kano had seen Sasayama disguise himself as plenty of things throughout the years. Klaus, Santa Claus, a Yakuza member, Japanese folk singer, and a Buddhist priest to name a few. But this was a new extreme even for him. When he first joined the force, Kano had found Sasayama's costuming antics amusing, wondering where he had managed to find his outfits, but lately his quirk has become tedious. Yeah, remember this guy is basically his partner in this investigation, but his partner likes to cosplay during investigations for some reason. But yeah, and this is just one of his many cosplays. Concentrate. Keep your eyes peeled. Sasayama gave Kano a pat on the backside and slipped away into the next car. Not suspicious at all. The suspect, meanwhile, was still staring out the window. The announcer's electronic voice filled the train compartment.
Next stop, Harajuku. Next stop, Harajuku.
Huh? Kano almost cried out. The suspect was moving towards the exit. Apparently he was only taking the train one station down the line, which a lot of people do. The train pulled into Harajuku station and the man got off. The detectives following him disembarked accordingly. The suspect walked along the platform and took a seat on an empty bench. Was he checking to see if he had a tail? Sticking around on the platform at a station where he just got off was pretty unusual behavior. Not wanting to arouse the man's suspicion, the investigators from the MPD made their way down the stairs as inconspicuously as they could. Kano, however, had a sudden inspiration and went to speak to one of the station attendants. Sorry to bother you, but I think I left something on the train just now. He tried to keep an eye on the man on the bench as he fed his story to the attendant. The suspect sat silently on the bench, attaché case clutched securely in his arms. He didn't really look like he was checking for a tail. Was he waiting here for someone else, then? Also, he could look a little bit less inconspicuous and not wear black, but oh well. Before long, a train heading down counterclockwise around the loop arrived. The man rose from the bench and stepped up to the boarding area. Wait, what the heck? If this guy got on the counterclockwise train, wouldn't that just take him right back at Shibuya Station? The man boarded the train. Kano had no choice but to follow suit. Was this guy playing them? Yeah, he was playing them. The suspect got off again, once again at the train's once the train had reached Shibuya. Okay, got confused. All he had done was go to Harajuku and come right back. Kano reported into Kuze. The suspect has returned to Shibuya Station.
Acknowledge, keep tailing him.
Kano felt himself growing increasingly paranoid. This criminal organization didn't seem too keen on getting away. And here was HQ giving these guys free rein. Something was off, he was sure of that. As he tailed the mark, Kano took out his phone. What were Tachino's instincts about the case right now? If the senior detective had any advice, Kano would love to hear it. He dialed Tachino's number. Tachino is a senior police officer in the precinct, but I guess right now, he is not there. The line rang a few times, but nobody picked up. Probably he was too busy seeing to Hitomi's safety. Hitomi is the girl that is currently with Achi right now, trying to escape these same guys, or at least another group of these same guys, I'm assuming. Kano felt bewildered. They'd been letting the suspect lead them around for over an hour now. During an abduction case, you generally didn't update the victim's family on any developments in case they tried to interfere. Kano could only imagine what the Osawa family was going through right now. After a short walk from Shibuya Station, the attaché case was handed off yet again. This time, the recipient was a tall, dark-skinned man. Again, the Shibuya-based task force split into two groups in order to tail both suspects. Kano stuck with the man who had the case. As the previous man had done, the newest suspect wandered around Dogenzaka for a while. Repeatedly looping around and around the same locations was all weirdly a roundabout way to make a series of handoffs. Excuse me, detective? Oh, this guy. This guy's the professor of the girl. Kano turned around with a start. Oh hey, he said, I know you. It was Leland Palmer, the lecturer who had been an eyewitness at the kidnapping. The man practically radiated concern. How's Maria doing? Is she alright? I am very, worried for her. His Japanese was more halting now. My heart, it is with her family. Kano gave a quick look around. It didn't appear that they were being watched. Maybe Palmer knew than he let on. If the syndicate spot us, my cover is born. We're hoes. I can't stick around like this. I think we chose A last time and it led us to be continued, which might have been the intended route, so we'll continue with that. Maybe Palmer knew more than he told the police earlier. If Kano talked to him now, he might get additional clues. Actually, Leland, do you mind if I ask you a few more questions about the party where the kidnapping occurred? Leland squared his shoulders. No, please, ask anything. Do you know what time Maria showed up at the event? Leland hesitated, thinking. Probably around 6 o'clock? She was there when it started. Was anyone else there who stood out? Stood out? How? Like someone you usually wouldn't expect to see there. Leland tilted his head. No, I don't think so. Everyone there was a student from my class, including the exchange students. Not much new here, Kano thought. He decided to ask one last question. Did you happen to hear why Hitomi was running late in the first place? Oh, no. Sorry, I'm not very helpful, am I? Leland dipped his head in apology. It's alright, thank you for your cooperation. Please, help Maria. I will. Kano parted ways with Leland and went back to tailing his suspect. This is where the to be continued was. He pulled his phone from his pocket. It was Rumi again. It was weird that she'd called twice when she knew he was in the middle of something important. Had something happened while she was waiting at the cafe with Shizuo? Kano picked up hurriedly. What's the matter? What's the matter? What's the matter? You know what the matter is. Rather than Rumi's soft soprano, it was a threatening masculine voice that came over the phone. Uh-oh. Kano felt his whole body stiffen with dread. Is this my father-in-law speaking? Don't remember being anyone's father-in-law. The speaker's tone was firm and flat. No, I know, I was just, Kano found himself at a loss for words. So you're dating my daughter, huh? Yes, sir. Hi. Kano barely squeaked out his reply. Thinking about getting married? Hi. And speaking of which, I'd love to chat. I'd love the chance to sit down and have a nice long... Then how long are you gonna keep me waiting? Hurry up and get your ass over here. Oh, how very much Kano wished he could do exactly just that. Sir, I would, but... Forget it. The words came in an angry huff. You can't have her. Goodbye. What? Sir, please wait! As Kano cried in desperation, he heard Rumi's voice on the other end of the line. Dad, you can't just use my phone like that. You were taking too long in the bathroom. Give it back. Give it back! Rumi? Kano tried and failed to keep the heartbreak out of his voice. Sweetie, what's wrong? Your father just said he doesn't want us to getting married. What? Dad? What did you say to my boyfriend? Listen to you. Calling that boy little pet names and whatnot. I think you're a little too attached. Daddy, you haven't even met him. That's why I told you to have him come see me. How long is he gonna make me wait? Dad, it's a work day. He can't just leave, especially during a case. Kano listened as the two argued on the other end of the phone. The phone must be lying somewhere between them. Could this get any more awkward? Rumi, I'm sorry, Kano shouted apologetically into the mouthpiece. This is all my fault. Please, you don't have to fight like this. The phone clattered as Rumi scrambled to bring it to her cheek. No, I'm the one who should be sorry. Sorry for what? Sorry for what? It was Shuzuo again, grumbling in the background. You have nothing to apologize for. You have nothing to apologize for. I'll deal with my father, Rumi said hastily. You just focus on work, sweetie. I know you're in the middle of something really important. Thanks, Rumi. Kano was legitimately touched. I'll do my best. He's got a big smile. Kano hung up and went back to the task at hand, more determined than ever. I wonder if talking to Leland delayed anything, but it seemed to be the right call. For Rumi's sake, not to mention the victims, he needed to focus on cracking this case. The man he was tailing was walking several meters ahead. There was no telling when Kuze might give the arrest order. Kano braced himself to spring into action the very instant the order came down.
Mobile command to all units.
Once more, the director's voice came in over the wireless. Was it time to make the arrest at last?
We've identified the man who first picked up the attaché case by the statue of Hachiko.
No arrest yet then, but still a crucial development. This guy. His
name is Tariq Al-Karawan. He's got priors for larceny, illegal possession of narcotics, you name it. He belongs to a foreign criminal syndicate that's operating in Shibuya.
Kano felt his apprehension rising. If this syndicate was behind the kidnapping, they were anything but amateurs. And though they might be leading the police on a wild goose chase, they certainly weren't playing around. Okay, I guess we get to be continued again. So that might actually be the end for Kano's route, but let me see. Does this change anything for Minorikawa? So with Minorikawa, because Kano was going to the cafe initially, he stopped this car he stopped the taxi to get into the same taxi as Minorikawa to be able to get to the cafe faster. But this time around, we just focus on the mission. So let me see what happened here. Let me see if taxi, phone call from Toyama. Let's see if it changes anything here, or maybe it's a little bit further back. We'll just skip through a little bit. Writing here, Minorikawa, publishing, what do you want? Pretty full. Oh wait, hold up. Wait, hold up. Why did we start here? Why did we start? Bad end guide? As to why things badly ended? Well, we don't need the hints because we already know from last time. I guess we go from here? This one, he gets a taxi. This one is afterwards. Phone call. Do we have to read through this? Let's see if we can skip through. So, whoever he was talking to on the phone, basically is in huge despair, and now he's trying to off himself. And now Minorikawa is running as fast as he can to find the guy. The taxi's tires squealed as the cab rounded the corner. The shift in momentum made Minorikawa topple over in the back seat. There we go, 10 minutes on the dot. Okay, this time Kano did not interrupt. Good. Minorikawa righted himself and looked out the window. Shibuya Station. I knew you could do it, Mr. Kimizuka, which is a taxi driver. He told the driver how to get to Heaven Publishing. It shouldn't be more than 5 minutes further. Sir, if I may ask, Just what are you in such a hurry over? Son of a bitch. I beg your pardon? Kimizuka bristled. Not you, the guy who's waiting on me. Minorikawa said. I'm gonna give that son of a bitch a piece of my mind. that would turn heads, wouldn't it? The multi-tenant building where Heaven Publishing had its offices came into view. The taxi stopped outside. Minorikawa opened the door as he hurriedly reached for his wallet. Then he stopped. What if the worst had come to pass, and he needed to take Toyama to a hospital? Should he have the taxi wait here? Or would it be better to call an ambulance? Sir, is there a problem? The driver asked. Wait here, I'll be right back. No, I'm fine. You're a lifesaver. How much do I owe you? No, just go. Just go. Wait here, I'll be right back. Minorikawa was out of the cab in an instant and running for the building. No time to waste. Once inside, he avoided the elevator in favor of rushing up the stairs. Heaven Publishing rented out the 3rd and 4th floors. In all likelihood, Toyama will be at the editing department of 4-star General Gossip on the 4th floor. Heaven Shu something? I don't know what publishing is in Japanese. When he got there, however, the door was locked. Mr. Toyama! Hey, Mr. Toyama! He shouted and banged, but there was no reply. Something was seriously wrong. Minorikawa took a deep breath and then kicked the door in. Whoa! He was about to hang himself. Toyama was standing on a stool, about to slip his head through a noose that hung from the ceiling. What the hell are you doing? Minorikawa lunged for Toyama. The two men crashed to the floor in a tangled heap. A pile of clutter slid off a nearby desk and fell on top of them. Minorikawa, what are you doing? Toyama whined. Dragging himself back to his feet proved something of a challenge. That's what I'd like to know. Minorikawa's fury was mounting. What the hell is all this about? He jabbed at an accusing finger at the noose hanging from the ceiling. Oh, that. One of the fluorescent lights died. You don't need a noose for that, dude. And I was just swapping it out. Don't you feed me that bull. What was that phone call about? That business about the only thing you could do was die. Tell me. Just a joke. That wasn't a joke in the other timeline. Toyama curled his lips into a faint semblance of a smile. Minorikawa wasn't buying it, but he didn't have time to press the issue. A cute little voice echoed through the editing office. Daddy, I'm back from the store. A little girl came in walking in, carrying a length of rubber gas tubing. It was Toyama's 5th grade daughter, Hana. Teruyo Toyama's only daughter, currently 10 years old. The night Hana was born at Shibuya Central Hospital, there was an unexpected fireworks display outside of the window of the maternity ward. As he looked out at the bursting rockets, Teruyo decided to name his daughter Hana after the Japanese word for fireworks, Hanabi. Oh, cute. It was Toyama's 5th grade daughter, Hana. Minorikawa stared. Toyama, you were planning on using that hose to... He hesitated to end his sentence with gas yourself to death. Well, you know, it's almost gas heater season after all. The hell it is! It's the middle of frickin' summer! It was a beautiful sunny April day outside. Spring, never mind. Well, you know how sensitive I am to the cold. This was getting truly ridiculous. Minorikawa got right up to his face. Listen, just explain to me what the heck is going on, okay? He kept his voice low, but his eyes were steely. Hana clung tightly to her father, gazing worriedly up at the two men. No, it's just... Toyama let out a long, heavy sigh of resignation. Keep out! We have 2 keep outs now. How the heck do I get past these keep outs? You'll need to jump from another protagonist. Sometimes jump keywords are hidden in a tip. A man named Junichi Yanagashita shows up in Tama's story. Oh, well, I was about to go to Tama anyway. At 11:20. And he lets out a sigh like Toyama's. Try checking the tip. Okay. Okay, we have a keep out there. We have a keep out over here. What was the thing with Osama? I don't think we can do anything with Osama just yet. Maybe that might be last. But anyway, we are going to go to Tama. Tama is stuck in the cat costume, and whatever she does, she cannot get out of it. So we have Tama, our part-timer, I guess, in the cat costume. And well, Tama is definitely not in a good spot right now, since whatever she does, wait, how do I press B? I decide to ask Chiri. She can't get out of the cat costume whatsoever. Sorry, would you mind helping pull my— Ow! I feel a dull throbbing pain at the back of my head. Like I bumped my head somewhere, but I don't remember doing that recently. Chiri flashes me a curious look. What are you doing? She asks. I thought maybe I could at least get the head off. That ain't gonna work. That thing's attached to the body. I slump forward in defeat, face planting on the tabletop. No. Most folks would have noticed that when they put it on, you know. Well, I didn't. The boss helped me get into this thing. Well, don't let you get it down, Chiri says. Right. So, I guess in a... I guess the boss helped out with quite a bit. Pretty good boss, all things considered. Here, drink some of this. She pulls a bottle with a straw from her bag and pours me some of the tea into it. In a fever of thirst, I jam the plastic straw through the mascot tube's mouth. Thankfully, it reaches as far as my own. I suck for all I'm worth. I suck and I suck and I suck. My body rejoices as the moisture returns to it, like rain coming to the desert. And thus I revive. Actually, it does kind of feel like I'm coming back to life. Oh, thank you so much. I'm never going to forget this as long as I live. With tears welling up in my eyes, I clutch Chiri's hand in my fuzzy mitts. Aw, hey, I'm not the kind of person that abandons someone in need, you know? She replies. An embarrassed grin crosses her face. How come you're carrying this bottle around with you anyway? I ask. Oh, that's cause I make my own protein juice. Protein juice? Never heard of it. I heard that if you had protein juice for one of your 3 meals a day, you'll lose weight. So yeah, I kinda need to keep it up. Given Chiri's sort of, well, chubby frame, I don't think the protein's been working great for her. I've been trying all sorts of stuff, but right now protein's totally the best thing for my diet. This stuff, though... Chiri casts her eyes at the samples of burning hammer on the table. It's like totally bogus. Huh? That's a surprise. Well, yeah, Chiri says. You gotta exercise if you want to burn body fat. She smacks herself on one flabby arm. I mean, there's no way you're gonna lose weight by taking more calories. Huh. Didn't she just say she was drinking protein juice to lose weight? I keep that thought to myself. I mean, that'd be as ridiculous as all-you-can-eat Kobe beef, she asks. She shakes her head seriously. I'm not sure about using all-you-can-eat anything as an example in a discussion about weight loss. But again, I keep the thought to myself. Oh hey, a job's a job, Chiri says after a moment, perking up again. They tell me to sell this junk, I sell it. The door flies open suddenly and a loud voice belts out. Hold it right there! Hey, it's the boss! And this time the boss is not getting accosted by a couple of loan sharks, because in a different route, Achi directed the loan sharks in a different direction from this building. So yeah. I whirl around in a panic to see an odd-looking man standing in the doorway. It's Junichi Yanagashita, the guy that we need for a different route. He's the guy who hired us. I heard that, Chiri. Don't you go calling my product junk. That's disrespectful. Chiri gave him an apologetic look. Whoops, sorry about that. You should be, but whatever. If you really have doubts, have a try for yourself. Mr. Yanagashita pulls a bottle of Burning Hammer from his coat pocket. What is actually Burning Hammer? Sister products include Del Sweats, Cellulose, Better Sweater, Dom Pepperon, Power Burn Z, Mr. Thin, Nega Chow, and Super Nega Chow. I don't... The naming sense of all of these is interesting. Del Sweats and the Cellulose, Better Sweater, at least are a little punny. I'm not sure about the other ones. Power Burn Z is also kind of... They're definitely all scammy. At first glance, it looks like some kind of energy supplement, but the cheapo label gives an immediate impression of sketchiness. Go on, Mr. Yanagashita, says Mr. Yanagashita. Give it a go. Cherry reaches out to take it. But no sooner does she grab the bottle than Mr. Yanagashita shouts out once more. Wait! Hold on! What? Cherry squawks. What gives? You two. You're both good, stomach-wise? Stomach-wise? Yeah, drinking this stuff on an empty stomach can cause some pretty nasty problems. So just make sure you eat or drink something beforehand. Doesn't matter what, really. What nasty problems? Hey yo, X-Luna, welcome. We're back with our mascot-wearing character who can't get out of the mascot costume, and she never will. Alright, Workshop, see you later then. Yeah, such as? What? I ask. I'd rather not say. Nobody would buy it otherwise. Seriously? It's all good, I just had a hunch. Cheery says. She flashes a carefree smile. Well, I haven't eaten yet. But on the other hand, I've been guzzling as much iced tea as I can to fill myself up. It's probably safe for me to try this stuff. I may as well drink it, in for a penny, in for a pound. And hey, maybe it'll help me lose some weight. No, I'd better not drink this stuff. It's not even particularly appetizing. Wait, is this that stuff that gives you visions or whatever? Is this that stuff that gives you visions or whatever? Visions? What visions? I remember a rumor I heard not too long ago. Some kind of urban legend. It was about some drink with a weird burning spicy flavor, and was supposedly it turns all of your fingernails a faint shade of black. Then you see things you can't normally see and hear things you can't normally hear. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? I'd heard some college students talking about hearing voices like that, swearing this mystery drink could have that effect. It's a little unnerving. Still, I really doubt it could be true. How are you drinking that through there? You got a straw? I stick the bottle of Burning Hammer into my mascot head mouth. It has an unexpected smell, like curry. Getting my own lips around the mouth of a bottle, I gulp down the liquid inside. Huh? It doesn't taste like anything. A handful of seconds go by. What the heck? Nande yanen? It feels like a firecracker just exploded inside my mouth. Now it's spicy. Way too spicy. It's like I just swallowed a chili pepper coated in the curry powder. So that's why it's called Burning Hammer? Because that's what it does? Before I know it, I'm sweating bullets. Well, you sweating? Mr. Yanagashita asks. Like a whole lot? You are, aren't ya? Why does he sound so happy about that? That's right. That's right there. That right there is the magic of Burning Hammer at work. Shiri and I are at a loss for words. Burning Hammer? Drink all you want, and you just burn those pounds away. How's that sound? Good, huh? This is just so stupid spicy. It makes you sweat. Cheery blurts out. Blunt and to the point, I approve. Yeah? Well, I guess you're right, Yanagashita says. He hangs his head. What is in this stuff, I ask? I can still feel my tongue tingling. Heck, my body's almost too numb to move. I'm so shocked I even forget to properly get angry. So it's in this health food product that got imported from America a few years back, Yanagashita explains. But the import agency went out of business not long after and couldn't move the merch. So I bought up the whole lot. Everything they had in their storehouse. Spent all the money I had on it. Cheery arches an eyebrow. How much did it cost you, she asks. 1 million yen for 300 bottles. That is way too much. I can scarcely believe my ears. 300 bottles of 1 million yen for the lot. That's roughly 333,033 yen for each piece. Each one of these teensy little bottles costs over 3,000 yen? You got ripped off, man, Cheery says. You really think so? Huh, yeah, you're probably right. He hangs his head even more despondently. This is the sort of thing they sell in 100 yen shops or something. Ouch, Cheery, moving in for the kill. 100 yen shops, really? Mr. Yanagashita lets out the heaviest of sighs. I'm starting to feel pretty bad for the guy, actually. Don't let it get down to you, sir, I say, hoping to comfort him. But Mr. Yanagashita lets out a sob-choked sigh. A deep sigh emphatically exhaled, often a sign of disappointment, stress, or unrequited love. Also a way of expressing the anxiety brought on by massive debt. One has no more money to give, only sighs. Right now, Minoru Minakawa is in the company of someone inclined to sigh this way. Wait, we can jump from here? What? Wait, what? Are you serious? You have to go into the tips to do a jump? This is hilarious and not something I would have normally done, but okay, we can jump from here. Keep out has been unlocked. Alright, we'll go back to you, Tama, in a bit. No, it's just... Toyama let out a long, heavy sigh of resignation. He's bald. It's the scratch cards that were in the 4-star general gossip. The type of lottery cards featuring areas printed with special silver ink. These silver ink areas can be scratched off with just a fingertip or coin to reveal potential winnings, providing a quick speed lotto fix. In order to prevent the symbols or letters underneath the silver from showing through, the back of the card is printed in black. Somehow you always seem to lose when you've got your hopes up, but manage to win when you least expect it. That's where the problem is. And what is the problem? You shine a light on the back of the cards from behind. You can see where the winning symbols are. Whoa, they didn't do the black trick? I messed things up dealing with a printing company. All of this, he gestured vaguely, it's my fault, my responsibility. He proceeded to explain the situation in detail. Word was quick to leak on the internet that there was a way to find the winning symbols. And suddenly, thousands of cardholders turned up en masse to collect. Heaven Publishing was hit with a massive financial liability, and the employees rushed to flee a sinking ship. Before Toyama realized it, he was the only one left in the company, and he was up against a deadline for next month's 4-star general gossip. If I have to drop next month's issue, I'll be stuck in debt even deeper. And if that happens, I'm finished. Toyama gave a dismal groan. So don't drop the issue! Minorikawa snapped. He pounded his fist right into the side of a cardboard box. But Toyama just shook his head weakly. I've been up for 3 days straight trying to fill the pages. It's not enough. I can't do the impossible. He dropped his gaze to the floor, countless scratch cards lay scattered about. They probably been amidst the pile that had fallen off of the desk earlier. Each card showed a neat row of 5 win symbols. You can't know if it's impossible if you don't see it through. I'll never make it in time. The proof needs to be done by 8 o'clock this evening. The proof? The final stage before printing, when the copy or manuscript is checked for errors. Not sending corrected proofs to the printer before the deadline can result in the book or magazine in question not making it onto the shelves in time for release date. Ah. Well then, Minukawa thought to himself. He let out a sigh, then held his hand out to Hana. Hana, would you mind giving me that hose? Hana gave her father a quick look, then handed the rubber hose to Minukawa. This won't be necessary. He tossed the rubber hose into the trash, then jabbed his finger at Toyama. He does the finger thing a lot, it seems. Show me the layout on draft proposal for the next month's issue. Toyama blinked a few times in disbelief. Huh? You can't possibly be serious. I'm trying to help. Now show me the layout on proposal before I change my mind. After a brief incredulous pause, Toyama hurried to grab the paperwork. I cannot read this. What the? Oh, wait. Oh, these are like page numbers and stuff. Ah. A layout in publishing speak is an outline of a magazine showing which articles will occupy which pages. Oh. Minukawa gave it a quick once-over, finding that 12 of the pages were still blank and untouched. He wanted to punch whatever writers had been assigned those pages. See what I mean? Toyama said. It's hopeless. He sounded perversely proud of his failure. Getting enough material to fill 12 pages by 8 o'clock. Yeah, it was definitely a tall order, all right. Says who? Minukawa replied. Remember who you're talking to here. You seriously think you can do it? You're joking, right? Minukawa shot back. I seriously know I can do it. There's nothing in this world I hate more than a bad joke. Why are you doing this for me? Toyama was getting misty-eyed. I'm not doing it for you, you spineless wimp. I'm doing this for poor little Hana. Minukawa, I'm sorry. Toyama bowed his head so deeply, Minukawa thought he might put his face through the floor. Don't apologize to me. Apologize to your daughter. Oh, forgive me. Please forgive me, Hana. Toyama clutched her tightly in his arms, the girl hugging back on the verge of tears. Hey now, good enough with the waterworks. I've got your backs. Don't you worry about a thing. Minukawa picked up the draft proposal for the pages that needed filling. Wow, so dramatic. The words Shibuya Scuttlebutt Special were plastered across the cover sheet in big, bold type. Okay, so a 12-page special edition blog on Shibuya, fair enough. And first on the docket. Drink yourself thin with Burning Hammer. This reeked of a scam. The only way drinking more of something would make you lose weight would be if it were mixed with laxative, probably. Still, there wasn't enough time to tweak the layout plan now. According to proposal write-up, a product demo was scheduled for 1 p.m. that day. The location printed on the map was blurry and hard to make out, but Minukawa had a rough idea where it was. It looked like he didn't have much of a choice but to swing by in hopes of getting more material. He scanned further along into the proposal. Society of Surveillance, hidden cameras installed throughout Shibuya. The rides involved Shibuya's Vigilante Squad. Oh, the SOS group. Where are they now? Washed Up Screenwriter Showcase. Washed Up Screenwriter Showcase. Who could that be? Sexy Squared. Twins share top prize at local university beauty contest. Oh, is that what they were doing? Shibuya Now. Black market organ trafficking Shibuya. Shadowy foreign crime syndicate exposed. Those 7 pieces were to fill the 12 empty pages, and that's how he gets into the crime syndicate. Oh no. That was a plan at any rate, but there wasn't enough material there to make any headway. The Shibuya Now article didn't even have any proposed content. This sucked hardcore. It didn't look like there was much material for the Rise and Fall Shibuya's Vigilante Squad either. The notes suggested that a few years prior, a group of youngsters in Shibuya had banded together to help fight crime in their neighborhoods. At this point, however, things have flipped around completely and they've become a gang of street punks themselves. A turn to the dark side. It had the markings of an interesting article to be sure, but tracking down this gang would take time. Minorikawa was personally intrigued by the one about the organ harvesting in Shibuya. The rumor was that organs were being smuggled out of Southeast Asia and fenced locally at a tremendous price. There was even a plan to ascertain the authenticity of these claims. Fascinating. If Minorikawa was going to be spending all day gathering other material, though, he didn't have much time to spare for it. 11:27 a.m. Shibuya Now. The rise and fall of Shibuya's vigilante group. Black market organ trafficking in Shibuya? Minorikawa decided that one of these three would have to go. He thought about it long and hard as he stared at the draft proposal. There's a good chance he'd really screw himself over if he picked the wrong one. Finally, he decided to cut Rise and Fall Shibuya's... what is Shibuya Now again? Let's see, I think, if he had to cut something, he could probably cut the Shibuya Now? Rise and Fall, Black Market Organ Trafficking? He said it would take a lot of time to do the Vigilante Squad, so maybe he could cut that one out. But we did have a Vigilante Squad that we met, so he might want to look into that eventually. Let's cut Shibuya Now. Actually, let's go back a bit. What is Shibuya Now? Shibuya Now. What is Shibuya Now? Shibuya Now didn't have any proposed content. I would cut that out because it didn't have any Shibuya any content. He decided to cut Shibuya Now. He didn't have the time to make up an article out of whole cloth. His goal was just to make sure that 4-star general gossip made it through the press at all. Society of Surveillance. Where are they now? Sexy Squared. Those 3 pieces had individuals slated for interviews, but no appointments had been made with any of them. Unscheduled interviews were a dicey prospect. Minorikawa decided to call them up on his cell as he made his way down the list. The only one he managed to get a hold of was Shinosuke Owarai from Where Are They Now piece. Former broadcast writer, has appeared on various popular variety shows on commercial network Sun TV, an actual commercial. He currently heads up a small theater troupe known as the Wandering Angels, operating out of Shibuya. Later today, the troupe is putting on a performance at Theater Ace in Sakuragao Okacho. I think it's Sakuragao Okacho. He said he'd be willing to give a 15-minute interview after 2:30. Minorikawa sighed. He'd just have to get material from the others in an impromptu fashion then. Putting his nose to the grindstone, he started throwing together a schedule for the day. Was it possible to get all that material and write it all up and finish the whole thing by 8 p.m.? Presumably the end of the game. It was no use. No matter how he tweaked it, none of his stimulations ended with him having a proof ready on time. He just needed one more thing, and that was a writer. Another writer. Minorikawa zoomed through his contacts list, calling up all the freelancers he knew. The results were depressing. Answering machines. Overseas on business. In the hospital. Currently doing time. Oh, wow. That took a turn. Before long, he called everyone he could think of except for one. Novice freelancer, Chiaki Iso. Chiaki was a bit of an odd duck, a reporter who was scared of talking to people. Minorikawa had never known anyone who became so hopelessly flustered in a one-on-one setting. In such a rattled state as to be unable to speak. Chiaki's tendency to become flustered is famous among her freelance writer colleagues. Once, she conducted an hour-long interview during which she only managed to ask her interview subject's name. Yet another chapter in the legend of hopelessly flustered Chiaki. If she couldn't talk to people, she certainly couldn't do interviews. And if she couldn't get any real interview content, she wouldn't be able to write up much in the way of a copy. But maybe we can use her to find some people. Would she come to his aid if asked? Quite probably. The issue was whether she would hinder more than help. Hey Ruby, welcome. Yes. Have you heard of Shibuya 42H? Or 42H Shibuya Scramble. It is quite funny, actually. This was no time for beggars to be choosers. He decided to call up Chiaki. I think we have to call her up. What he needed were dependable folks he could count on. He decided to email all his contacts from back in his staff reporter days. I say we contact Chiaki and, beggars can't be choosers. Minorikawa decided to call up Chiaki. The phone rang several times before a sleepy voice finally answered. Sound only Chiaki Iso. Mellow? Chiaki, hi, it's Minorikawa. Are you free today? Huh? What? She seemed thrown by the abrupt question. Did you just wake up? No, I mean, well, yeah. Good morning. Her voice still sounded half asleep. So then I'm guessing you don't have any work slated for today, as usual. Fella dressed like me? He looks more like a detective than me, but I guess so. Pretty much. No work, no money, no food. Nothing to do except sleep. If I'm not awake, I can't dwell on how hungry I am. She didn't sound well, almost like she literally didn't have anything to eat. Well, I've got work for you. I'm over at 4-star General Gossip. Get over here ASAP. What? You really mean it? That seemed to finally wake her up. Yeah, but hurry. Minorikawa decided she'd assign Chiaki to the Rise and Fall Shibuya's Vigilante Squad. Good call! At least I didn't have to make that decision. First, I want you to take a look around Shibuya for this group of vigilante types. By vigilantes, you mean people who have volunteered to help prevent crime? There was a note of relief in Chiaki's voice. Yeah, that's right. Except apparently now they turned into a nasty street gang. Did you say street gang? Nuh-uh. No way, absolutely not. Minorikawa could almost see her shaking her head on the other end of the line. What if I get killed and sold into slavery overseas or something? He doubted there was much chance of the latter, or the former for that matter, but still, he understood her concern. Alright, I hear you, he said. Then how about you go hang around Shibuya Station and do some street interviews for me? Street interviews? There was a nervous waver in Chiaki's voice now. Yeah, just talk to normal, regular people walking around the station, outside the station. That should be fine, yeah? But Mr. Mino, street interviews aren't really my, Apparently, it was beyond her capacity to give him a simple no. No buts. Just interview at least 10 people and get me an article by 6 o'clock. Okay. Minorikawa had originally planned to axe the Shibuya Now piece because it didn't have any content, but getting some quotes from people on the street would at least make for a useful filler. That gave him a sudden idea. He'd take on the vigilante story himself and Chiaki handle Shibuya Now. That was plenty of work to keep 2 people occupied throughout the day. The more time-consuming organ market story would have to be cut. I wonder what would happen if we did the other option with the email. I'm kind of curious about that. We'll see if we have to go back to it though. After explaining what kind of interviews he was after, Minorikawa hung up. Okay, I've got us another writer. We'll get through Toyama, somehow. Toyama shrugged gloomily. Yeah, well, the thing is, There's actually one more problem. Are you kidding me? Minorukawa couldn't hide the irritation in his voice. What is it now? The loan company is sending a debt collector at 4 o'clock. But as you can imagine, I don't have a single yen to give them. That's less than ideal, yeah. So what's the plan? Well, they said provisionally that if next month's issue gets published, they'll be willing to wait on repayment. Then there's no problem. The issue's coming out, guaranteed. But they're not going to take my word on that anymore. They're going to need to prove it. I'm going to need to prove it. If it could fill, say, half of 12 pages by the time they show up, I could probably convince them. Alright, Minorukawa said wearily. So for starters, we need 6 pages by 4 o'clock? They had to get all 12 pages done as it was. That made a perfect midpoint to shoot for. Any other problems you'd like me to know about? No, Tama said. No, that's all. I really am sorry for this, Minorukawa. Again, he bowed his head low. Minorukawa felt distinctly awkward. He had known Tama for years, and had never been kowtowed to like this before. Yeah, well, just let me handle it, alright? Minorukawa unfolded a map of Shibuya. The first order of business was deciding whether to begin getting where to begin getting content. He marked the editing office with a circle, then considered where to head next. Diet drink sales demo, center guy. Where are they now? Sakuragao Theater Ace. Society of Surveillance, Dogenzaka Endo Electronics. Sexy Squared, Midoriyama Academy. A university associated with Midoriyama High School, alumni, High School Baseball Championship, Tissue Prints. Educational philosophy is summed up as slogan Words, Skill, and Beauty. Huh. Very high percentage of winners of the Miss Midoriyama contest go on to careers in the entertainment industry. I see. Shibuya Vigilante's location to be determined. Diet drink sales demo was at 1 o'clock, and the interview with Shinosuke Orai for Where Are They Now was slated for 2:30, so those times were set. The question was to do in the interim. Sexy Squared. We're kind of working on Sexy Squared, though on a different route. It was a little early, but maybe we should go to the center guy and get an interview with a diet drink sales demo. It's a bit of a hike, but maybe we should go to Dogenzaka and check out Endo Electronics. Huh. A bit of a hike, a bit early. I say we go to Endo Electronics. We might be able to help out Achi in this case. It was a bit of a hike, but maybe he should go to Dogenzaka and check out Endo Electronics. Yeah, that should give him what he needed to put together the Society of Surveillance piece. Okay, I'm heading out. And don't even think about anything else stupid while I'm gone. Got it? Minorukawa hustled out of the editing office, hoping Toyama would take his admonition to heart. Right, he tried to hang himself earlier, and we're hoping he doesn't do it again. He shouldn't. Exiting the building, he hopped into the taxi that was waiting outside. Thanks for waiting. Can you get me to Dogenzaka ASAP? Son of a bitch. Minorukawa bristled. What? I beg your pardon? That son of a bitch you wanted to give a piece of your mind, sir. He just wanted to say it. Was he waiting for you like you expected? They become friends at this point. Wow. Oh, yeah. And I damn well did give him a piece of my mind, too. Glad to hear it, sir. The taxi sped off. They're friends now! They were strangers before, but now they're friends. Minorukawa pulled out the proposal and looked it over again. The idea for the surveillance story revolved around the claim that hidden cameras have been installed throughout Shibuya's shopping districts, upwards of 500 of them. Supposedly, these had eliminated lots of blind spots and the crime rate in the area had dropped significantly. The cameras were managed by Daisuke Endo, the owner of Endo Electronics and chairman of the local downtown committee. That was Minokawa's first mission there. He needed to get this guy's story. It's a good thing we didn't send the taxi cab away for a couple of reasons. Maybe he still would have made it up there to stop Toyama from hanging himself, but we wouldn't have a cab and we would have to find another way to get there. So, yeah, good call on that one. Scanning the side of the road, Minokawa finally spotted a rundown electronics shop. The sign out front, which looked like it might fall off at any moment, read Endo Electronics. Phone number 795-0214. Make sure to call them if you need any help with your appliances. They will do that also. Right here's fine. The taxi stopped and Minokawa pulled out a 10,000 yen bill from his wallet. Keep the change. What? They don't usually do that in Japan. Look, don't sweat it. The name's Minokawa, and I'm a freelance writer. I care about two things, what's real and what's true. There's real worth to what you've done for me. That's where a token of my appreciation. There's a token of my appreciation. It's not much, but please take it. Minokawa slid out of the taxi and headed for the electronics store. Okay. Inside, Endo Electronics looked more like a mountain of hoarded junk than actual business. A lot of shops seem to be that way. Towering piles of ancient appliances stretched toward the ceiling. Old television sets with dial knobs leaned against computers with 5-inch floppy drives. Wow! Storage medium for personal computers in the production of 1976 to 2001. The magnetic discs are sheathed in paper or plastic jackets and are known for their tendency to flop around in one's hand, hence the floppy. Technically speaking, they are 5.25 inches in diameter. Instantly, Door, released in 1983, the debut title from this game's producer, Koichi Nakamura, was produced in a 5-inch floppy version. Nice trivia, okay. What possible use could there be for all this outdated stuff? Mr. Endo, are you there? Minokawa called out. Nobody came to greet him. The shop was definitely open, though. Surely the proprietor hadn't left it unattended. Hey, Mr. Endo! Come on, I know you're in there. After a short wait, Minokawa heard sounds from the living space behind the shop. Oh, that's what this guy looks like. The door opened to reveal a tired-looking, middle-aged man. Yeah, what do you want? Are you Mr. Endo? Minokawa asked. I am. Hi. The man said guardedly. So desu. And I'm sorry, but I'm in the middle of something at the moment. Could you come back tomorrow, or... Please, just give me a minute. I'm a freelance writer. Name's Minokawa. Minokawa showed Endo his business card. I'm writing an article for 4-Star General Gossip. A magazine piece, huh? Precisely. So if I could just have a little bit of your time today. The phone rang, cutting him off before he could get down to business. I'm sorry, you'll have to excuse me for a moment. Endo reached into the clutter and pulled out a telephone. Hello, Endo Electronics. The proprietor listened for a moment, then raised an eyebrow. Yeah, that's a problem, all right. All right, understood. I'll try and get a hold of the customer, then. Endo set the receiver back down. What was that all about? Minokawa asked. Oh, yesterday I saw a dry ice machine, and the manufacturer just called to let me know the model's defective. But that is a problem. Defective? Apparently, once it starts making dry ice, it won't stop. I need to tell the customer I have to recall the machine and refund their deposit. Please give me a moment. Endo sifted through some sales slip, read a number off one, and made a phone call. Nobody picked up on the other end, however. That's right, he grumbled to himself. He said they had some performance today. Performance? Minokawa asked. I sold it to a guy from some theater troupe. Oh hey, we have to meet up with this guy too. They're called the Wandering Angels or something like that. A theater troupe run by Shinosuke Owarai. This afternoon at 5:30, they are performing their 22nd piece, Awa. Right now, all the actors are already at the theater except for Akiyomi Mondo, who plays a rival of the main character, Ryu. The angry production chief has sent his assistant to Mondo's apartment, but he does not yet know what awaits him there. Continuing the Tales of Wandering Angels, Episode 2, 6 episodes in total. The Wandering Angels, that was Shinosuke Orai's theater troupe. Minorikawa had an interview with him booked for 2:30. Anyhow, what can I do for you? Minorikawa hastily explained that what he was after. Endo gave him a dubious look. As I said earlier, I'm a bit busy right now. Busy cleaning up, I hope. How do you get anything done in this mess? Why, are you this rude to all your interview subjects? 5 minutes! Give me 5 minutes of your time, please. Gotta be joking. Go on, get the hell out of here. Endo headed for his back room in a huff. Fine, I'll just have to write about what you've already told me. Namely, that Endo Electronics sells defective merchandise. Huh? That's what you're implying. Did you or did you not sell the theater troupe a defective piece of equipment? Look, I'm trying to get in touch with them as soon as I'm betting they're in a hurry preparing for their performance. I doubt you'll be getting through to them today. Endo bit his lip. Now that I have your attention, Minorikawa said, let's make a deal. What kind of deal? I'm meeting with a member of the Wandering Angels a little later today. I can let them know about the dry ice machine for you. In exchange, all you have to do is give me my interview. Endo scowled. And where's your proof that you'll be meeting with the Wandering Angels? I might take advantage of a guy when he's down, Minorikawa replied. But one thing I'm not is a liar. The shopkeeper took a few moments to think about it. Fine, he grumbled. 5 minutes, that's all you get. Is that his wife? Wow. Minorikawa whipped up his notepad out of his coat like he was drawing a gun. Then let's get right down to it, shall we? Go right ahead. So I hear that over 500 surveillance cameras have been installed throughout Shibuya's shopping districts. Yes, that's right. Why so many? We used to have a lot of delinquents in town. Young people who act rowdy or cause trouble, often are at arcades or convenience store parking lots, or who resort to petty theft or other mischief. Also referred to in more outdated terms, ruffians or hoodlums. Outdated terms, okay. Endo said the word with marked distaste. Oh yeah, I remember there being some kind of problem kids around. There were some real punks. They vandalized my signs, made a mess of my storehouse. They were just awful. I see. Minorikawa scribbled diligently in his notepad. Heck, my own son put together a sort of vigilante squad to help teach those punks a lesson. Wait, vigilante squad? Whoa, hold up right there for a second. Minorikawa jutted out his hand to interrupt. This guy's son was part of the vigilante squad? What a stroke of luck. Maybe he could also provide some info for the article on the gangs of Shibuya. Sorry, I don't mean to get too far off topic here, but could you tell me the name of this group your son belongs to? They call themselves SOS. Oh, I think we already got this one, but I think the notes changed here since last time. Originally a group of well-meaning young people who would get together downtown as a sort of vigilante squad trying to keep Shibuya clean and safe. In those days, the group never engaged in theft or other criminal activities. More recently, however, SOS has become one of the biggest gangs in Shibuya, resorting to defacing public property with graffiti, shoplifting, and shaking people down for cash. Yeah, this is different from last time. Prided themselves on being the top gang in Shibuya and all of that. The top gang in Shibuya? Did I really just hit the jackpot right here? Not to pat myself on the back, but go me. All I have to do is step outside and the story finds me. I think I might be a natural at this. As it happens, I also like to interview people from the SOS. Would you be able to put me in touch with your son? Yeah, sure. But you should know that my son isn't in the gang anymore. Ooh, a jump? I'm sorry, Minorikawa, but we're gonna have to come back to you later. Jumping to Aichi. What's going on here in the keep out? I guess it was a good call to go to the electronics store and not to Tama. He told me, look. There he was. They were looking for a blue van. A blue van had appeared nearby, parked in a spot that had been empty previously. Achi couldn't see who was inside, but there was definitely something fishy about it. Besides, there weren't any other blue cars around, so this had to be it. He'd been right. The crooks had come back after all. Well, he's not really a detective. He's a freelance writer, but he's being... I mean, I guess you have to be a detective to be a freelance writer also, kind of, sort of. I'm gonna go take a quick look, Achi said. You wait here. But before he could carry out his plan, Hitomi jumped to her feet. Without a word, she rushed towards the van. Hold on, I said wait! She wasn't slowing down. Achi called hold of her arm. Wait. This could be dangerous. What if the kidnapper's in there? And what if my sister's in there? I have to go help her. Right, this whole thing started because her sister got kidnapped and there was some guy chasing her with a gun and Achi came in to save her from said guy with a gun, and after a series of events, they're right here looking for a blue van, which she was supposed to go to initially. So that's where we're at right now. Achi knew full well what it was like to be impulsive, but there was one situation where cooler heads would have to prevail. We can't just hang out here, she insisted. What if the car takes off again? That's why I said I was gonna have to take a look first. But isn't that dangerous? What if they do something to my sister because some random guy comes swooping around? Oh, yeah, you got a point there. Achi thought as fast as he could. The criminal told Hitomi to get into the van. There had to be a specific reason for that. What if they were planning to abduct her as well? Probably. Whatever the case, he couldn't just let her go. He had to make a snap decision. Look, let me go first. I don't want to put you in any risk. Okay, let's go together then. Does that work for you? I think we should go together. I don't think us going by ourselves is a good idea. Maybe let's go together. That's also probably a bad idea, but together is probably better. Okay, let's go together then. Does that work for you? Please, we have no idea who or what we might run into. Hitomi gave a slight nod. Alright, she said. But let me go first and you follow, okay? Got it, Achi replied. Achi waited as Hitomi started walking, then followed her at a distance, so it wouldn't look like they were together. That's not far enough, dude. They can see you, like, right there. She headed straight for the van. Oh, there they be. Two men got out of the car, neither of them Japanese. Achi picked up his pace in case he needed to close the distance fast. One of the men approached Hitomi and said something to her. She gave an affirming nod. Suddenly, the two men grabbed her from either side. They dragged her to the van and shoved her into the back seat. Achi broke into a sprint. Of course it was a trap! He couldn't guess what their whole plan was, but kidnapping Hitomi was obviously part of it. Obviously! But before he could reach the vehicle, the door slid shut. The van sped off at an instant later. Whoa, look at this face! He's like really going for that chase face right there. Also, Achi has a Japanese name, but he doesn't look Japanese, so what the heck is this story then? Anyway, Achi raced after it. He ran as hard as he could, thinking of nothing else. He couldn't give up now. Couldn't let things end like this. He made a promise. No quitting halfway. And no turning his back on someone in trouble. Is it a bad end? But the car kept getting further and further away. Before long, it was just a blue speck that vanished into the cityscape. No! Is this a bad end? It is a bad end. Achi never saw Hitomi again. Okay, I think I kind of know what happened here. Maybe we should have not let her go with us. Ashi did try to warn Hitomi. Oh, and look, she got herself kidnapped. Maybe he should have put his foot down and checked things for himself first. Yeah, okay. I had a feeling that's what we should have done. Actually, go instead of letting her go by together. No, 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 no. We're not doing this one, lady. We're not doing this one. We're going to. Oh wait, I think I need to go further back. Hold up. Ah, it's over here. Okay, so we're gonna put our foot down. We're gonna say no. We're gonna go first. Look, just let me go first. I don't want you to put you in any risk. Hitomi's determination wavered at the look of Aichi's eyes. Please, he continued. We have no idea who or what we might run into. If I think they're gonna try to run off again, I'll give some signal. Then you can come along, and I doubt they'll be interested in leaving then. Hitomi gave a reluctant nod. Please be careful. Will do. And tell me if my sister's in there. I will. You can count on it. Achi stepped into the open and started walking towards the van. He tried his best to look as if he wasn't paying it any attention. Yep, I'm just an ordinary passerby. As he got nearer, he tried to sneak a glimpse inside. The van's dark window film made it hard to see who might be inside or even how many people. Casually, he moved closer still to get a better look. Oh, what's happening now? Suddenly, the sliding door burst open and several people jumped out. None of them were Japanese. Within moments, Achi was surrounded. Whoa, what? Hey, what's the deal? Achi said. He let out a little chuckle. Man, that thing must be packed. How many seats you got in that thing anyway? He took another step towards the vehicle and looked inside. A knife? One of the men pulled the knife from inside his jacket, thrusting it out in Achi's direction. He probably meant it as a simple threat, but on reflex, Achi went into self-defense mode, kicking him into the jaw. Remember, he used to be in a vigilante group, so this is kind of normal for him. There was a loud crack of his foot as his foot connected. The man dropped out like a light. The other stared, then rushed him. Well, this sure hadn't gone as planned. Too late to take it back now. The damage was done. Achi was going to have to take out the rest of these punks too. He nimbly shifted his feet, evading their initial attack. Thugs, battle start. It may as well be a Yakuza thing right now. Except usually the thugs start a fight. Oh, they did start a fight. Never mind. Having to take these guys on 3-1 wasn't going to be pretty. Achi! He heard Hitomi cry out. He hadn't given away any signal, but she had come out of hiding anyway. Hitomi, stay back! How was he supposed to fight off 3 guys and protect her at the same time? What could he do? What should he do? Oh, come on, guys. Stop with the phones. Within moments, a number of passerbys had gathered around the fight. Maybe they'd heard Hitomi shouting. Hey, what's going on? Oh my god, is that a knife? This ain't just some petty squabble. Someone call the police! Some of them began taking photos with their cell phones. One of the men cursed in frustration, then signaled for his buddies to get back into the car. And who's this blue guy in the back just looking on with a bag? Achi couldn't stop them. The engine roared to life and the van sped away. Knowing he'd never catch him on foot, Achi merely watched it go. Well, at least I got him to back off, so that was nice. He'd failed. This was his fault, all of it. Achi bit his lip hard. How could he possibly face Hitomi now? Achi. Hitomi's voice was hollow, empty. Achi stared down at his feet like a scolded child. I'm sorry, I didn't see whether your sister was in there or not. I see. The words, so simple and matter-of-fact, stung him to the heart. I'm so sorry. But Hitomi simply shook her head. The fact that she wasn't even chewing him out made him feel all the worse. I know I messed up, but I'll... He was going to say I'll make up for it somehow, but he froze with fear at what he saw next. It's a gun! The gun guy! Across the street, staring at them, was the man with the cane. He told me it's him! They had to get out of here. He grabbed Hitomi by the hand and bolted down Dogenzaka. And he's running pretty fast for someone with a cane. The assassin followed, staying on the side on the road. Achi wasn't sure what to do. Should they try heading into the alleyways and side streets again? No, it was more dangerous to head someplace where there'd be fewer witnesses. Best to stick to Dogenzaka for now. The man wouldn't be able to gun them down if they managed to lose themselves in the crowd along Center Guy first. Wait, we're going to Center Guy? We're gonna go where Tama is? Besides, the guy had to use a cane. Achi and Hitomi could outrun him. Hand in hand, they sped along Dogenzaka and through the intersection in front of the 109 building. Come on, Hitomi, just a little further. Okay. She was panting, but she pressed on. Achi risked a glance back over his shoulder. Huh? He stopped in surprise. Is that Kano over there or is that someone else? What's wrong? Hitomi asked. That guy is not following us. The slope leading down to the intersection wasn't all that steep. What about the intersection? Several plainclothes detectives have been hiding amidst the crowd in the intersection as part of the kidnapping stakeout. Right now, Director Kuze is sending out a message to all officers over the wireless, and so the detectives have stopped to listen in. It's a bit unusual. An observant individual might notice. Okay, so they totally didn't see this happening. It was strange that the gunman hadn't bothered to pursue. Still, there was no time to worry about his behavior right now. He told me, can you still run? Yes, I'm still alright. Then this is our chance. This way. Where they go? Do they go to the building? They needed to put plenty of distance behind them before the assassin came after them again. They also need to find the van again and rescue Tomi's sister. Would they be able to find it and yet stay hidden from the man with the cane? Achi wasn't sure one way or the other, but with Hitomi in tow, he hurried onward along Center Guy. To be continued. All right, nice. We have two to be continued, and now we have to backtrack into the other places. Hey, GNG, welcome. How's it going? Quick summary for people who just got here, since we are basically at another to be continued point. We went to... Let's go back so we can see faces. We made sure that Minakawa could save the guy that was trying to off himself last time. Saved him, and now he's on the hunt for news articles to fill in a magazine. So he went to do that. Meanwhile, we finally unlocked a keep out with Achi and saw the blue van that he was looking for. And now blue van has gone off because lots of commotion, gun guy comes back, and yeah. Basically, now they're trying to find the blue van again somehow while trying to outrun the gun guy. So now we have to go back to Tama-chan. Tama-chan, as the boss, is now not being hounded by the loan sharks because we sent them a different way, but we had to make a jump from Tama-chan to go to Aichi. So now we're coming back to Tama-chan in order to see what's going on with the boss now. Okay. Right, so there's something funny with the drink. Apparently there's a rumor going around that the drink that they're trying to sell might give you hallucinations, but it also cannot be drunk in an empty stomach. And apparently it was surplus from a failed company from the United States, and this guy bought each bottle for about over 3,000 yen each. Basically a scam of a scam. So he thought it was real, but you know, it's not like that. It's definitely not like that at all. And we went into. We need to get back here. Wait, reread back. Wait, why do I have to go all the way back? Why do I have to go all the way back? Jump to Minoru Minaka. Oh, we made a jump here. Drink some? Okay, so we got to go back to the drink scene. Okay, I see. Can I scroll through? Can I scroll through? Okay, I have to actually make a choice and then we go through this. Okay, so we go through the visions thing. We're gonna try to skip it through this as much as possible. But we're treating as if we have not read this before. As far as the game is concerned, because we made the jump apparently. Almost feel sorry for who? It's Ichiban? Honestly, he does kind of look like Ichiban. He actually does kind of look like Ichiban, but this is before Ichiban was even a thing. How old is Shibuya 428? I'm pretty sure this is much older than the new Yakuza series. Or at least... Actually, no. Wait, didn't the current Yakuza series end with Golden Wealth or whatever that thing is called, Yakuza 8? So basically, before Ichiban shows up in the Yakuza series, this game. Oh, ouch, my hand hurts. I stick the bottle of Burning Hammer. This one came in 2008. Yeah, I figured it was kind of old. Didn't think it was that old though. Smelled like curry. Okay. Tama-chan somehow tries to drink it through the costume. Tama-chan, I think you're forgetting something. I think you're forgetting to ask your boss to get you out of the costume. Apparently the drink is super spicy. Super spicy. Way too spicy. Swallowed chili pepper. Well, you sweating? Yeah, so basically the reason why he thinks it works is because the drinks make you sweat really, really bad. And, yeah. But it just makes you sweat. It doesn't actually make you lose weight because of the sweat. So yes, you're right. Yeah, I think we're gonna deal psychic damage to anyone who thinks that 2008 is not old. Guys, I hate to break it to you, but 2008 was 16 years ago. 16 years ago! Alright, so how much did you pay for it? 1 million yen for 300 bottles. That comes out to 3,333 yen a piece. Meaning you would have to sell each bottle for more than that to get your money's worth out of it. But you can't do that! This is the sort of thing they sell in 100 yen shops or something. Yep, that's basically what it is. Starting to feel bad for this guy. Don't let you get you down, sir. Okay, so this is where we left off last time. So we'll continue from here. But Mr. Yanagashita lets out a sob choke sigh. I try again. It'll be okay. Whether or not it does help you lose weight, it is spicy and it does make you sweat. I'm not sure I follow, Chiri says. How much you selling these bottles for, boss? 15,000 yen per bottle. Are you freaking serious? Selling all 300 bottles would yield the proceeds of 4.5 million yen. After deducting expenses such as the cost of product, rental fee of the venue, pay for the part-timers, and printing flyers, this yields to a net profit of roughly 2.5 million yen. It's doubtful that anyone would pay 15,000 yen for a single small bottle, but you never know. There could be a few housewives or young women out there who'd fork out that much cash in the name of weight loss. A terrifying thought. How can you keep attention to keep talking with Max Food 2000 BGM remix? I don't know, I just kind of go with it. You really need a good bit of profit. Yeah, 15,000 for one shot. I don't know if anyone would pay that. I would probably bring that down like a little bit more. But I don't know how much this guy can afford to do that. Even 3,000 per bottle is way too much. What? Sherry's jaw practically hits the floor. Mine does the same. No way! Nuh-uh, no freaking way. Calling that price point absurd wouldn't begin to do it justice. Well, look, selling it at that price point is the only option. I need to cover my costs. Anyways, please, I need you both to work your hardest. Apparently he's committed to this insane course of action. Okay, Cheery replies. It's more like a sigh than a proper response, but I can't blame her. As for me, I can't even find the words. I'm so flabbergasted. Just sit up there and don't speak up. Isn't this just a scam, sir? I can't even find the words. I just can't find the words. I can't even find the words. I'm so flabbergasted. Hey, I try to murmur. Sorry. What was your name again? Sorry, what was your name again? He interjects. Oh, right. I'm Tama. Why are you still wearing your costume? I stumbled my way through an explanation. Are you gonna get her out of it? Wow. So then are you gonna do sales demo like that? Well, if I can't take the costume off, I don't have much of a choice, do I? Sir? Aren't you gonna try to help her get out of the costume? She is stuck there because of you. Can't we just cut it out? I mean, it's not like you're gonna use it again. No, that won't do at all. I hired you to be a model. You're wearing that thing, then what's the point? I'm at a loss for words. What the point is exactly what he's missing. It's like I'm wearing this getup because I want to. How about we just cut it off yet? Cheery says with a big grin. Cheery, you're kind of scaring me. She pulls a massive scissors out of her bag. The blades make an unsettling snip-snip sound as she waggles them in my face. Whoa, no, you can't do that! Yanagashita explains. That suit's a rental! Really? That's a problem here? Because that's a rental? I don't want to have to reimburse them for the thing. Well, then what am I supposed to do? I ask. And police are involved, I guess. He looks at me uncertainly. Maybe you could have someone from the rental place come down? Shiri suggests. Is Ichiban an actor? I thought Ichiban was kind of like Dojima, where not like Kazuma. Not Dojima. What's his name again? Kiryu. I thought he was the same as Kiryu, basically original, but somehow, you could imagine someone looking like that. He's so in debt. What difference does it make? Yeah, if he actually sells, he could pay it off. So why not? Yeah, could we get someone from the rental place come down here? Before helping herself to the rest of my lunch, she's still eating the other lunch. Oh, hey, good idea, Yanagashita says. He seems to be making an effort to calm himself down, at least. Just try to grin and bear it until then, Tama. Well, I guess that's that then. Oh, you've probably seen the actor before? Probably an actual comedian, who knows? I'm not sure. We don't have credits yet, so no idea. I'm sure we'll get it off, eventually, I say. Hopefully before the demo. That's the spirit. I really need you to be my model. A model, huh? It's flattering, but I can't help but wonder. Would I be any good at that? Well, Tama, we don't know what you look like under there. You're probably actually hotter than, than Chiri over there. She can't be used as a model. Well, there's no time to be timid. I need that money no matter what. Tama face reveal when? We need a Tama face reveal. My troubles all started earlier this morning. 40,000 yen for this thing? Wait, why are we here? I was a knick-knack shop on Center Guy. I happened to pass by and spotted a red necklace on display at the storefront. What's up with this red necklace? The thing is, the zipper is stuck. That's the problem. Okay, the zipper is stuck on the first suit, so she can't exactly get out. Even if you are a furry, you still need to be able to get out of the first suit, you know? So I need some water here. Sorry if you hear the glug glug glug. Gonna wait for the glug 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 to finish first. And I got this weird sensation when I saw it. You could maybe call it deja vu, something like that. It was as if I'd been drawn to it somehow. This was mine. I was sure of it. Oh no! First we have the Ring of Sauron, now we have the Necklace of Sauron. What the heck is the Lord of the Ring reference doing here in 2008? When was Lord of the Ring movies made again? I think it was before that time. I wanted it. No, I needed to make it mine. As soon as I possibly could. That's how strong the feeling was. The price was 40,000 yen. I checked my wallet repeatedly, but I only had 20,000 yen on me. Nonetheless, I needed to have it. There was just one question. How? Somehow, I managed to drag myself away from the shop. Just a few minutes later, I ran into Mr. Yanagashita. Hey, a voice said out of nowhere. If you want, I can pay you 10,000 yen for a day's work. I found myself staring at this frumpy middle-aged man who was handing me his business card. Managing Director Junichi Yanagashita, Yamato Health Foods Company Limited. Nasubi? Probably a stage name. Probably actually a stage name. Look at his smile. You would trust this guy, right? I'm in a real bind here. Need some extra help. Would you mind coming in with me? I'm begging you, just one day. He seemed pretty sketchy. He does seem sketchy, especially with that afro and that smile. As much as I needed money for the necklace, I wasn't going anywhere with some random weirdo. I ignored him and tried to just walk it off. Please! Wow, he even has the things in like old-timey robber cloths and stuff like that. Please! Yanagashita grabbed me by the hand. Watch it, pal, I snapped. Hands off or I'll start shouting for help. Please, it's not like that. Just hear me out. Look, I'm in a hurry. Please! Please! Knock it off! I spun forcefully away from him, yanking my hand away from his grip. Oh, we got a little shot of actual Tama? No face, though. Ooh! Yanagashita whirled through the air and fell into the bushes. Wow, drew blood even. Whoa, where'd that come from? He gasped. His eyes were wide as saucers. Not really. You a martial artist or something? No, I think that was just a fluke. The truth was I was surprised myself at how I pulled off that escape move. Okay then. Look, I'm sorry. Can you give me a hand? No way. No, I mean, give me your hand. My hip's killing me here. Ow. I guess. The least I could do was help the guy get to his feet. Look, why are you hounding me so much? Please don't be angry. The moment I saw you, I just felt it. You're the only person who can help me do this job. Do this job for me. I let out a sigh, but my interest was admittedly piqued. What kind of job? I need a sales rep for a health supplement. I want you to do PR as a dieting success story for my product. Just look at you. You have the body of an actress. Sales are gonna go through the roof. Well, it was hard to feel too offended when he told me that. The job didn't seem fishy as I'd initially expected. Alright, maybe I'm interested, I said. There's just one thing. Yeah, whatever it is, I'm sure I can handle it. I need 20,000 yen as soon as possible. So if the day only pays 10,000, alright then. If you can sell 100 bottles at our sales event, I'll throw in another 10,000 yen as a bonus. How's that sound? I certainly couldn't think of any other way I was going to earn 20,000 yen in a single day. This might be exactly the break I needed. You got a deal. You have my services for the day, I said, bowing my head. Yes! Yanagashita's jump for joy. What about your hip? Huh? Oh yeah, it's better now. All better. Face it just yourself. Just now. Yanagashita bowed deeply as I gave him a dubious look. Look, I'm sorry, he added hurriedly. I wasn't trying to pull a fast one on you, honest. I was just scouting for talent. I saw you, and well, scouting for talent in the middle of a park? That's not exactly the best place to do it, but okay. Was trusting this guy really the best idea? I was starting to worry just a little bit about whether he'd actually pay up. Look, I've staked everything on this sales demo later today, he went on. We also have a side view of Tama, just not her face. But wow, okay. This is the make or break opportunity of a lifetime. Sure. I'll be honest with you, I'm in a ton of debt. 2 million. 2 million! Yanagashida's tone had taken on a feverish intensity. If I don't pay it back by the end of the day, then boy howdy am I up the creek without a paddle. How did you even get into a situation like that? Wonder if Tama is the missing woman with a partial amnesia or something? I don't remember that, actually. Where would you scout for models, ignoring the skinny joggers passing by? I don't know, maybe outside the train station would be probably the best place, or at least down a busy street. Not a park. Like, I don't know if you know this, most people in Japan don't really jog around in parks, especially in 2008. They probably jog around like riverbeds or something like that, if they jogged around at all. Not a park, so this is exactly a really terrible place for him to be scouting. He gazed skyward, a far-off look in his eyes. Because even if he knows he has no chance of winning, sometimes a man just has to stand up and fight. But I guess a girl like you wouldn't understand. He laughed and smiled at his own words, but he was right. I sure as heck didn't understand in the slightest. Anyway, real quick, could you put this on? Mr. Yanagishi rummaged through his bindo. Bindo? I don't think I've heard that word before. Then thrust a cat costume out towards me. What? Here? Yeah! Before the sales event, you gotta hand out some supplies. The burning hammer in sample bottles is cut 10 parts to 1 with water. Even so, it is intensely spicy, and drinking it on an empty stomach is sure to cause gastrointestinal distress, or even make the drinker black out. It's hard to believe that a sample of something so dangerous would win over any customers, but you never know. There could be housewives or young women out there who'd accept such a risk in the name of weight loss. Another terrifying thought. Oh, it's just a bundle held with cloth? Okay. Learned a new word today. The job's already started, you know? And with that, Mr. Yanagishi went about getting me into the mascot suit. But how did you jam the zipper? That's the question. Looking back on it, it was a pretty ridiculous turn of events. And now you're stuck in this costume. Still, if I was going to get my hands on that necklace, I had to take a chance at this job would pay out. I doubt we're going to be able to sell a single bottle of this crap, Cheery whispers in my ear. I'll just have to do my best I can, I say. I say it more to myself than anyone else. Once again, I ask myself, why am I in such a rush to get this necklace anyway? I honestly don't know. It's the strangest thing. I try my hardest to think of a reason, but all I get is a dull aching throb at the back of my head. Yes, please, if someone could fill out Panzerberger on what the heck just happened, there's a lot to unpack, so I wouldn't know where to start. Oh, are we getting a to be continued now? It's the same pain I felt earlier, as if I got in a good bonk on the head or something. To be continued. Yeah, it's a little hard to tell where to pick up. Okay, we have several to be continueds here. Okay, so we have to be continued at Tama about the shady drink and necklace. We have a to be continued with Aichi now that they're running away from the gunmen who found them again after finding the blue van. We have a to be continued with Kano. We got this last time, but we changed a little something before then so that Minorikawa could do his interviews and save a guy from hanging himself. I think that's good enough. Yeah. Let me take a quick restroom break. I'm starting to feel the tingle a little bit, and then we'll go back to Minorikawa, and see what's up with that. Osawa, we have nothing to go on as far as what to do there. So, BRB. Well, no, what'd you do that for? Wait, Tama has a memory issue? I don't remember this. I don't remember this. Or am I the one with the memory issue? I tried to look for some snacks to salt myself up in the pantry and saw nothing that I could use. So that's a bit unfortunate. I did have a little bit of the leftover spam from the MRE and tried to eat that by itself without heating it up. I gotta say, I think supposedly spam is edible without cooking it, but it's definitely not great. She has no idea why she's so desperate for the necklace and the pain she tries to think about. Oh, about the necklace? Yeah, I guess you're right about that, but I didn't think that was amnesia related or anything like that. Grandma, Ruka's like grandma reading the WhatsApp group chat. She may not know what her name is. I think she knows her name is Tama. So anyway, let's go back to Minorikawa. This is where we left off last time, where he basically was interviewing this guy. This guy is what do you call this? Achi's dad. And then apparently he installed a bunch of surveillance cameras all over Shibuya to keep track of gangs and whatnot. And we're getting a lot of info from him for some reason. So, gotta go back into it. As I said earlier, I'm a bit busy right now. Can I skip a little bit? 5 minutes. Oh, I have to read this part? Okay, fine. Busy cleaning. All right. How do you get? Okay, we're gonna skip a little bit. 5 minutes. 5 minutes of your time. Okay, we're gonna do the interview in 5 minutes. He's gonna interview a theater troupe anyway. That this guy was supposed to call up. So he's just gonna pass on the message to said theater troupe, and then get the interview from this guy in exchange because he doesn't really want to do the interview. The shop owner, I mean. And this guy keeps on pointing. He points at everything. He points at everyone. So it's like, yeah, alright then. Fine, 5 minutes. And by the way, this is Achi's mother, I'm assuming. I think Achi takes more, you know, takes after his mom, but he definitely does not look Japanese. So, I don't know what to say about that. 500 surveillance cameras, yes, that's right. Delinquents, yes, that's right. Problem kids around, yep. Vandalize, yep. Son made the vigilante group, yep. And then vigilante squad, yep. Vigilante squad. Son was part of the vigilante squad, what a stroke of luck. Now we can also do the vigilante story. Then, what was the name of the group again? SOS. Not basically SOS Dam. Maybe it was after Haruhi, I don't know. Shibuya though. Not to pat myself back, go me. Alright, natural. As it happens, I also like to interview people for SOS. Can we get you in touch with your son? Yeah, sure. But you should know that my son, and this is where we jumped from, so that's why we gotta keep going, isn't in the gang anymore. Oh, Minurikawa hesitated. Guess he's of no use to me then. Oh, believe me, I know how you feel. The look on Endo's face spoke volumes. There was no point in interviewing Endo's son if he wasn't in the gang anymore. It figured that Minurikawa's run of good luck would end eventually. Still, he got a lead in form of the name, SOS. Yeah, I mean, Achi I don't think associates with the gang anymore, but he does run into them. He ran into them last time. That was progress. Alright, so back to the matter at hand. He flipped his notebook back open. Alright, break it up, you two. Break it up. Just leave it be. What did you decide to do about all these juvenile delinquents? I set up a tiny little web camera in order to protect my property. Web camera? Oh, the CCTVs! Huh. How long did CCTV cameras even exist? Cameras designed to send video information to a computer via the internet. Look carefully and you can often spot them outside private residences and even public streets. They are installed for use in surveillance. Given the risks of transmitted data being intercepted, the images recorded by such cameras are generally encrypted to prevent playback by unauthorized third parties. Many landmarks and attractions make their camera footage publicly available online. I see. And I'm guessing the webcam did the trick? Sure did. And so then other local businesses heard about it and started asking me to install some for them. Huh. Web cameras aren't particularly expensive, so it wasn't too tough to set them up all over town. So, who's in charge of these security cameras? Members of the downtown business committee take turns. The cameras are connected via a wireless network that business owners can access throughout the area. A LAN network! Okay. Wait, what was this? Although convenient because it does not require cable attachment, there's a risk of signals conveyed in this way to be intercepted by third party. Okay. How's the security for this wireless network? Oh, no problems on that front. Endo seems surprised at the question. Oh, the footage sent over the network is fully encrypted. Encryption, process of encoding data. Secret key, crypto systems, public key crypto systems, but require a private key known by the recipient in order to decrypt. What do you mean security cameras are land-based? You know what, I didn't think about that. Usually the problem with surveillance is security isn't great on them. People might have no idea to set them up properly. Well, he says it's encrypted, so let's see what else he has to say. But still, people can't feel too good about being recorded on camera without their knowledge, don't you think? Minurikawa asked. The shopkeeper's expression darkened. We hope to strike a balance between crime prevention and protecting individual privacy. Uh-huh, and who determines what that balance is? Minurikawa let a note of challenge slip into his voice. That would be me. I've been entrusted with the management of the security cameras. I see. So essentially, you're providing your own moral oversight. Are you implying that I'm abusing my authority? Endo shot back. I'm doing this in the name of public order. Right, you've had your 5 minutes. Now get out of here. Did we ever get the contact for Achi? I'll be sure to let the Wandering Angels know about your dry ice machine. Minokawa hollered at the closing door. Episode 2. When Akio Imondo didn't show up at the theater at the meetup time, production assistant Yukio Tozuka went to call him on his apartment. Upon arriving, Tozuka found that the place had been staked out by debt collectors. Mondo had borrowed 300,000 yen. What is up with people and getting into debt all over this place? And they wouldn't leave his home until he paid up. It looked like the only way to save Mondo was to give the debt collectors the operating funds for the theater. But before Tozuka could head back to relay this news, the props master Shinichi Bando showed up. Continued in episode 3. Endo didn't reply. Minokawa had gotten enough of a story to put an article together, so he decided to hurry to a coffee shop and get started on some copy. Wait, is this gonna be the same coffee shop as the girlfriend and the hopefully father-in-law going to be at? Oh my gosh, it's all converging together in the coffee shop, or maybe somewhere around the station. He was making his way down along Dogenzaga when his cell phone rang. The incoming call display showed Chiaki's name. Chiaki? Chiaki, what's going on? Sound only, Chiaki Iso. Oh, it's no use. She sounded like she was on the verge of tears. What's no use? I can't do this. I just can't talk to people passing by on the street. What? Why not? It's just that everyone seems so busy when they're walking past. If I try to interrupt them, they're gonna be all mad at me. Who the hell cares if they get mad? Minoka was ready to start ripping his hair out. I don't want them to be mad at me, she whimpered again. Well, this wasn't about what she wanted, was it? She was supposed to be working, not whining. Look, Chiaki, you need to get me those interviews. Period. Do I make myself clear? He hung up before she could squeeze in an objection. It should be a TV show. It would be so hilarious. I'm kind of surprised none of this is voice acted. It would be fun to hear how it actually goes down. Damn it, Minokawa muttered. Just what I needed. One more thing to worry about. He pulled at his hair a few times and cast his worried gaze in the direction of Shibuya Station. Are we gonna see Chiaki? Because it was sound only, apparently. Wait, hold up. We have another to be continued, but wait. Hold up. We have all the to be continued except for Osawa. What's going on here? Osawa... No, not that one. Calling Makino. Did Makino authorize the trials? I guess... Wait. There was a bad end with Osawa. What's the hint with the bad end, though? I think we need a hint on the bad end here, because I have no idea what to... Okay, I don't think I have many controls. Nope, do not go to trial screen. Okay, let's check Osawa and see if we can continue forward. By the way, I got copyrighted on this one. No effect to the video, but still, got copyrighted on this. Bad endings list, Osawa. Why do you keep displaying this each time I go into this thing? Okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I think it doesn't strike the channel, so it's fine. And I'm not monetized. That's also fine. Osawa had completed a mental breakdown, not just once, but both his daughters were being kidnapped. Surely there has to be some way to keep Tomi safe. On the run. What are they up to? Ki is changing her fate. and her father lies with Archie's decision at 11:05. Oh, wait. Okay. So in this case, all we had to do was make sure that all we had to make sure that Hitomi didn't get into the van, which we did. So we can continue. We can continue from here then. All right. All right. That should be okay. All right. After a time, Osawa could grow himself, growing calmer. Remember, Osawa is the guy of the first kidnapped daughter, which I forgot her name, and Hitomi, the girl with Achi, and he's also connected to some weird Ebola-like virus thing from so many years ago that for some reason some people are claiming that he is responsible for, which could possibly also be something with the international crime group going after the daughters. Could have been worse. Considering they might all be actors, you can probably. I finally saw these guys. Probably saw some of them in Kamen Rider. The only Kamen Rider I've actually watched and have fond memories of is Kamen Rider Black. I know a lot of people keep saying some of the newer Kamen Riders are actually pretty good, but they are so marketed towards kids and stuff. It's a little bit hard for me to take seriously, especially with all the definitely the brand placement on the belts and stuff like that. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Have you seen any Kamen Rider series recently, and are they actually decent? Not sure if it's the same, but I've been into Fupo PI manga. I don't think I've heard of that one. Oh wait, speaking of which, I do know there's a Kamen Rider anime from a couple of seasons ago. Maybe I should check that out. But I don't know. The whole belt thing I feel like wasn't a huge thing back in the Showa era Kamen Rider stuff. Never watched a single one before. Let me tell you. Kamen Rider Black and maybe even Kamen Rider RX, classic Kamen Rider series from way back in the 80s, and somehow became a favorite in the Philippines because that's what they all saw at the time. But still, yes. Anyway, I don't think we ever talked this Makino person. Last time we closed our eyes, made ourselves completely, what do you call this, completely calm, and that ended up badly with the kidnapping bit. But let's call up Makino and see if that does anything. Took a nice deep breath and then he dialed up Makino. Who is Makino anyway? I'm guessing it's someone else that he higher up. Has there been any progress? Makino asked as soon as he picked up. His voice was somber. No, Osawa said, nothing much yet. Yanagashita has done a fair amount of Kamen Rider stuff? Wow. Interesting. Afro guy actually did Kamen Rider stuff? I would have never thought. Tiny sigh came in from the other end of the line. I see. Then what can I do for you? Sir, I'll just get straight to the point. Have you conducted clinical trials using the antiviral drug? Makino didn't respond right away. What makes you think that? He asked that at last. Osawa described the emails he'd received. When he'd finished, Makino let out his breath in surprise. Not over the phone, he said. We'll discuss this in person. I'll head over to your place when I'm done here. As soon as possible, sir. Over-the-top expressions probably go well with the television. It probably does. Kamen Rider never took off in your country? Never heard of it until 2017? Ah, I see. I mean, he knows about the clinical trials that were not supposed to have taken place because the drug apparently is too powerful, or something like that. I don't remember all the details, but anyway, But he can't discuss it over the phone for some reason. It has to be in person. Not sure why, but we'll find out, I suppose. You're not the only person who's busy. Okay. With that, Makino hung up. There was no doubt about it then. There had been human testing. Osama went to let Tanaka know he'd be meeting with Makino. Okay. Mr. Osawa, are you going somewhere? Let me guess. This, oh right, this is one of the, I guess police officers that are on the case with his daughters, but for some reason they're at his house? A stolid-looking man stood in the hallway, almost as if he'd been waiting for Osawa to emerge. It was Yoshio Kajiwara, one of the detectives from the Shibuya precinct. He's sociable but awkward, despite his reserved personality, can be quite unsettling. Yeah, because he shows up like this randomly. His colleagues at the precinct refer to him in nicknames such as Japanese Columbo? How old is Columbo? I've heard people reference Columbo a lot, but I've never seen an episode of Columbo. Just the meme. And Little Ken Takahura. Who is Little Ken Takakura? Given his own quirky demeanor as a detective. Decades? It's that old? He struck Osawa as a bit too soft-spoken and meek for a detective, really. And his treatment of the kidnapping case gave an impression of flighty detachment that made him seem rather undependable. No, not really. Have there been any developments, Detective? Kajiwara shook his head quietly. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not really sure what to tell you. Kajiwara then slipped a hand into his suit pocket. Hey, it's a thumbnail from the last episode. From the last stream. He pulled out a banana. A highly nutritious fruit belonging to Muscae genus Musa. Because they contain a variety of carbohydrates, bananas can provide long-lasting energy and are an optimal energy source when exercising. The famous slipperiness of banana peels is due to the oils in the inner part of their skin. But even if all the oils were removed, slapstick comedians would still probably slip on them anyway. Are you hungry? These are good for when you're tired. I'm fine, thanks, Osawa said. We are at 4 banana counts so far. We had 3 in the last stream, and this is our first one today. Kajiwara seemed to lack a detective's sense of situational awareness. Just being around him got on Osawa's nerves. Well, sir, I need you to come along with me, the detective said, if you don't mind. He took Osawa by the arm. By the arm? Hand in hand? As Kajiwara hurried him towards the living room, Osawa could hear other detectives talking on the phone on the other side of the door. He's working at a time like this? Seriously? Sheesh, I do not get rich people and their priorities. Yeah, I feel bad for his daughter. Her dad's a real piece of work. Nice, they were bad-mouthing him in his own house. Oh, I'm really sorry about all that, Kajiwara said, pausing in embarrassment. Osawa pushed past him and opened the door. Wow, look at all these guys. A number of police detectives had holed up in the living room. They went suddenly silent as Osawa entered. So tell me, he said sarcastically, would you rather I stay here weeping as I watch this disaster unfold? The detectives winced and grimaced. It is almost 12. Forgive me for not being a perfect father. He added his hostility building. Kajiwara stepped forward to intervene before things got out of hand. I have no idea how old this is. Now, let's not be touchy. I am not being touchy, Osawa snapped. But he knew full well that he was. These guys had time to sit around backbiting him, but not to go out and bring Maria to safety. Already close to half a day had gone by without any new developments. The ransom demand had come in the previous night at 8 o'clock. Maria had been abducted roughly an hour before. Oh, flashback?
Tomorrow, 10 a.m. by Hachiko in Shibuya. Have the sister Hitomi bring 50 million yen. If not, the girl's life is forfeit. The kidnapper called only once, so the police were unable to run the trace. I'll do it, Hitomi said. Anything for my sister. She didn't hesitate in the slightest at the suggestion that she make the ransom handoff. Sawa was staunchly opposed to the idea, but the police were of the opinion that it was better to acquiesce to the kidnapper's demands. Ai's reaction, on the other hand, baffled nearly everyone. Ai is the wife. We don't have 50 million just lying around. Are the police going to be putting that together for us? Kajiwara stepped in to reassure her. If it comes down to it, the police will be able to help raise the money. Okay, go ahead then, do it. We'd need you to pay it back afterwards though, of course. Well then, what's the point of that? Ai's voice spiked to a piercing shriek. Calm down, Osawa told her. You're making a scene. Ai turned away in a huff. It's alright, detective, Osawa continued. I'll talk to the bank first thing tomorrow morning and figure something out. At that, Ai stormed out of the room. Kajiwara bowed his head several times in apology. As soon as Hitomi had made contact, we'll apprehend the suspect and take things from there. What? Hold on, won't that put Maria in danger? If we let the kidnapper get away with the money, we'll have no proof that he will return the hostage safely afterwards. There was a certain logic there. Osawa had to concede. I see, he said. So you're saying that catching this guy will be easier for you if he keeps my daughter hostage? No, that's not what I'm implying at all. Kajiwara wiped the sweat from off his brow and bowed profusely. At least, I promise we'll get your daughter back safe and sound, Mr. Osawa. Obviously, there was nothing to be gained from further challenging the detectives. Alright then. I'll let the police do their job. Osawa bowed even lower than Kajiwara did. Back to the present time, 5 minutes before 12. How long are you just gonna loaf around? How long are you just gonna loaf around? I shrieked as she stormed into the room. Hurry up and arrest this guy! She was becoming increasingly hysterical. An hour had passed since the suspect had taken the money, and yet the police had made no effort to apprehend him. But why? The police apparently had a rule against discussing an operation before it was fully resolved, and so the Osawas had been left in the dark. But honestly, the police shouldn't be in their house working to begin with. Why are they not at the station? Why are they here? The rules and procedures of this operation are so weird to me. But they had overheard the task force talking over the wireless, and it appeared that they had been deliberately letting the suspect roam free. Hey, I snapped again. If he gets away with our money, you are going to reimburse us, right? Osawa scowled. She made it sound like the money was more important than Maria's life. The detectives exchanged uneasy glances. Osawa chided his wife. It's only money, it doesn't matter. Osawa said nothing. Okay, do we incur the wife's wrath or do we just say nothing? We incur the wife's wrath because I don't think it matters anymore. Osawa chided his wife. It's only money, it doesn't matter. Only money? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how much we're talking about here? The ferocity in her voice left him with no response. Wait, I think I pressed too early. He should have known better than to expect her to make sacrifices for his daughters. Wow. By now he was accustomed to Ai's coldness towards the two girls. The twins were Osawa's daughters from his first... Oh, she doesn't care about them because she doesn't see them as her own daughters. Oh. Who had passed away 15 years earlier. Detectives on the ground were wondering what HQ was doing. I had no blood ties to Maria or Hitomi herself, but she is a terrible stepmom. Not uncommon, but still. Well, I continued, are the police going to reimburse us or not? She glared pointedly at Kajiwara. Well, right now we're focused on making sure Maria is safe. I stormed out to him, shouting right in his face. Stop dodging the question. Answer me. Yes, of course, Kajiwara squeaked. Maybe, would you like something to eat to help calm down? He held out a banana. We don't see it on screen, but I guess we can count as banana number 5. I smacked it out of his hand. There's banana number 5. Oh dear, what a waste. It's fine! It's in the peel! You can still eat it! It was a business thing, this is true. Kajiwara scrambled to retrieve the fruit from the floor. 5-second rule on an unpeeled banana. Okay. Osawa went over to Tanaka and whispered into his ear. I'm going to meet with Mr. Makino. Tanaka nodded silently. Turning, Osawa saw Kajiwara looking in their direction. They made eye contact, but Osawa quickly looked away and strode out of the living room. Kajiwara followed after him. Excuse me, Mr. Osawa? Yes, what is it? The detective fussed sheepishly with his hair and forced a smile. Sir, we'd appreciate if you could remain in the living room as much as possible. Osawa is in no mood to stand on propriety. Look, I've got a ton of work to do, he said. Are you here to tell me to play the role of a grieving father too? No, not at all. Personally, I happen to think you're an admirable father, Mr. Osawa. Admirable. Did the word have a ring of sarcasm? He had no way to tell if Kajiwara was being forthright with him or not. You're no ordinary fellow, Mr. Osawa. You're a genius. A genius. Me. Osawa made a skeptical noise. Am I mistaken, sir? You've made very important strides in the field of virus research. Or so I've been told. Wait, how do you know about this? Osawa wasn't sure how to respond. He had never considered himself a genius. He was just someone who was more interested in viruses than he was in other people. Everyone who's a genius is also a little bit odd, after all, Kajiwara went on. Probably he'd intended that as a compliment, but still. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with weirdos. As long as they leave us ordinary folk alone, you know? Is this guy trying to praise me or insult me? Osawa let out a heavy sigh. Genius, weirdo, what did it even matter? So long as he could be left to his work, he didn't care one whit how he looked in other people's eyes. Kajiwara wiped the sweat off his forehead with a handkerchief. By the way, what are you working on right now, he asked. I'm afraid you wouldn't understand even if I explained it to you, Osawa replied. Good call. Right. Precisely. Even if I gave it my full attention, it still would be beyond me. He peered with sudden intensity at Osawa's face. I'd appreciate it if you didn't hide things from me, sir, he said. Too close, dude. Way too close. Osawa gaped at a loss for words. Oh, I'm so sorry, Kajiwara said hurriedly. Goodness, I made it sound like I'm accusing you of hiding something, didn't I? The detective bowed his head repeatedly. Banana number 6. Wow, we're 3 on last episode, 3 on this episode. I hope you'll forgive me. He held out the banana. That won't be necessary. How about this then? This time he pulled a bar of chocolate from his pocket. No thank you. If you hear screenshots, that's because I'm trying to find screenshots for the next thumbnail. Did this guy just carry an endless food supply wherever he went? Oh my, Kajiwara murmured. You geniuses really are tough to sort out. He inclined his head, mumbling to himself for a moment. What can I get for you then, sir? What I really like is some time by myself. In a daze of exasperation, Osawa felt his way to his study. Locking the door, he finally let out the breath he'd been holding. Then his eyes alighted on the bookshelf against the wall. What's on the bookshelf? Ah, they're cute! I mean, he does at least care for his daughters, you know? Except he can't really do much right now. He has other things to worry about. He pulled out a photo album and began to flip through. There were pictures of his daughter's grade school enrollment ceremony. Their mother had already passed away from illness, so Osawa had taken the girls himself. He remembers that after the ceremony, Hitomi had come down with a fever. He told me I'd been rather sickly as a girl, falling bedridden at the drop of a hat. Maria, by contrast, had been lively and energetic, quite the handful. Osawa had found it remarkable that their personalities could be so different, despite them being twins. He flipped further into the album. Middle school? There was a picture of the three of them at their grade school graduation. Maria was looking away from the camera. Osawa felt like someone had stabbed a dagger in his heart. His daughters or virology? Which truly concerned him more? Which did he truly love? I mean, he made time for the graduation. I wonder if something else happened. It was ridiculous to try to compare the two. He had known the answer before he even asked himself. Even so, human emotions were complicated and sometimes made people act inconsistently. One of the consequences of that was this photo album. This was the last photo he had of Maria. He searched and searched through the rest of the album, but she was nowhere else to be found. Why? Weird. No, Mascot Girl is someone else. It's got to be someone else because the thing is the people who kidnapped Maria at the beginning of the game, and Mascot Girl's not kidnapped. And preview for the next episode. Oh, someone else is coming in? Alright then. She finally gets out of the costume? What? $12 to $1,300. Alright, let's see what... Let's get a lowdown on what everyone else is going through. Okay, we still have all 5 main characters. Let's see. Who do we start with? Okay, guys, who do you want to start with? I don't think there's any wrong answers to this, because we're gonna have to go through everyone anyway. Basically, if you don't know how this works, we have to get everyone to a to be continued before we can continue the game. So we have now continued the game. I do feel like Tama has a lot of threads going with her, so does Minorikawa. Minorikawa because it's funny. Okay, since that's the first one I saw, we'll do that. Missing about 2 hours of context isn't helping me. Well, we're going to be doing the next one. We don't know where Maria is right now. If they're twins, her face might be hidden because of the same actor. It could be. Anyway, let's check out what Minorikawa is doing. Last time we saw him, he was what was he doing? He was going throughout town trying to get interviews, and now he's trying to get Chiaki to actually do interviews, except she won't because she is too shy to do interviews. So yeah, point reporter pointing guy. Suda 51? Who's Suda 51? Minorikawa stood on the sidewalk, weighing his options. Chiaki's phone call had thrown him for a loop. He had expected her to be anxious about doing interviews, but wow, she was a real basket case. Oh, no more heroes, got you. Still, that didn't change the fact that he had a schedule of his own to keep. The surveillance camera story had to be his top priority. Chiaki would just have to find some way to fumble through things on her end. He headed on down Dogonzaka, scanning his surroundings as he went. There were cameras set up on streetlights all over the place. Oh wait, this is the cameras that were installed by Mr. Endo. There were so many it was hard to believe he'd never noticed them before. One over there, just another over here. Electronic eyes peering down on passerbys from high above, where they were tougher to spot. Just how were the people who came to Shibuya reacting to the situation? Hey, you there! Minorikawa called out to a man riding by on a bicycle. Hey, you, stop! Hey, it's this guy again! This guy showed up in Aichi's story. He was picking up trash from the side of a railroad track and not really sure what he was up to. Aichi gave him the rest of his trash bags so he can also pick up trash. I feel like it's just gonna get dragged along with whatever is happening in everyone else's thing. The man brought his bike to a sudden stop. The man! Tasei Yasuda, proprietor of the knickknack shop in Udagawacho. Roughly 30 minutes earlier, while he was wandering along the JR tracks picking up lost and abandoned items, recap on this guy, Aichi foisted off his trash onto him, and so he's in a bit of a foul mood. Since then, he's been going along on his bicycle, still picking up things from the roadside. There's a trunk on the back of his bike where he stores his funds. He's just gonna get dragged into a lot of stuff. I feel like this guy is gonna be a, is it called a MacGuffin if someone comes up later on? Again, that seems unrelated, or is it like something else? Anyway, he's gonna be one of those things. Huh? What's the matter? He asked. Hi, the name's Minoru Minorukawa. I'm a freelance writer. Okay. Just doing interviews for a magazine. I'd like to talk to you. A magazine? Which one? 4-Star Journal Gossip. Minorukawa did his best to sound proud. Maybe the necklace is at his shop? Oh, probably actually. Oh, well, I'm actually in a bit of a hurry here. Minorukawa soldiered on. See that? He pointed at one of the nearby surveillance cameras. What? The man asked. The blimp? Not the blimp! A massive blimp was indeed drifting slowly overhead. A type of aircraft that floats using lift provided by an enormous envelope filled with lighter than air gas. This envelope, the balloon, is often used for corporate advertising. This particular blimp has been puttering about the skies above Shibuya since last night. In 2008, they probably did. I haven't seen one in my previous trips though. No, the camera! The camera watched them both in uncaring silence. Oh, that! What about it? What do you mean, what about it? Those cameras have been installed all throughout Shibuya. They're taking in anything and everything, privacy be damned! A shocked pallor came to the man's face. Oh, really? He muttered uneasily to himself. I guess I should be careful next time I go picking up stuff. Hey, what are you talking about? Minorukawa asked. Oh, nothing, just stuff. Way to dodge the question entirely. Anyhow, I think there are some good things about the cameras too, the man said hurriedly. Oh? Minorukawa asked, such as? Well, I mean, they must have helped catch some crooks, right? Yeah, I think you're right about that. Oh, I am? The man looked shocked to have his own statement confirmed. Are you hiding something from me? Huh? No, nothing in particular. The man shook his head vehemently. Nothing at all, really. Well, whatever, Minorukawa said. In any case, even if the cameras are helping in arresting criminals, there are some places where people just don't want to be watched. Huh? For instance, how would you like it if someone set up a security camera inside your home? What do you mean? I mean, a burglar just might try to get in your home. If you had a security camera, you could be alerted right away. Isn't that kind of an extreme argument? Nope! You're making the extreme argument here. What? The man stared, bewildered. You're saying it's okay for folks to film people around town as much as they might like, but not to take a look inside people's houses. Yeah, I guess I am. The man mumbled. Minorukawa snorted. You don't think too deeply about things, do you? He mocked. The man huffed in indignation. I don't see the problem, he said. I mean, it's a normal enough opinion. To want to bring down crime but also protect privacy? Well, yeah, so? So if they're just gonna set up cameras around town, I'm okay with that. Minorukawa grinned inwardly. You're being naive, he said. Way too naive. Naive about what? By now, the man was getting worked up. Once you start letting people watch you from the some of the time, you'll eventually let them do it more and more. That's how the world works. A simple change in camera angle is all it takes to steal the last traces of your privacy away. That's kind of funny coming from you. Doesn't 4-star general gossip get all of its scuttlebutt by invading the privacy of others? Since when are you people concerned with protecting privacy? Meaning what exactly? Minakawa asked. You know damn well what I mean. Have you no shame? I've got nothing to be ashamed about, Minakawa exclaimed. If some celebrity scandal breaks, I write it up in the form of top-class socially conscious expose. That's a Minakawa seal of quality. The man rolled his eyes. Please, as if anyone's ever heard of that. Your everyday freelance reporter would say something about how security firms have no right to use cameras to disrupt personal privacy. But not me. Oh no! I'm the only guy who'd write a first-class piece on the subject. And you want to know why? The man's only response was a doubtful look. Because privacy only exists for me to utterly demolish it. Wow! Wow! Okay, also you see this guy back here behind him looking at this scene going on. It's like, what the heck is this guy talking about? You know what? We're just gonna ignore him. Wow. Minakawa finished with a prideful grin. That's nothing but journalistic arrogance, the man railed. Oh yeah? Yeah, I'd rather have surveillance cameras any day. If the alternative is some weird gossip piece. This time, Minakawa didn't have a handy retort. An awkward silence descended over the pair. Are the passerbys even aware they're in the game? I don't know actually. I do know that if you want to film in Japan, you have to get the permission of all the shops in the place you want to film. But since they're technically not filming, quote unquote, and they're just taking pictures, then it might not matter too much. I don't know. They might have skirted some rules about that. It's kind of funny if you think about it. But maybe they were made aware somehow. Right, I see. Minakawa muttered to himself as he busily rescribbled in his notepad. The man was visibly taken aback. Thank you for cooperation, Minakawa said at last. You gave me some good stuff. He held up a hand to forestall an angry retort. I realize I probably got you a bit riled up. You'll have to forgive me. Huh? What? The man peered at Minakawa in disbelief. This is just my interview style. Sorry, I know it's a little unorthodox. Buddy, you're a weirdo, you know that? The man said. Yeah, I hear that a lot, Minakawa laughed. So can I go now? Sure, I'll quote you as a passerby A in my article. Sure, whatever, the man muttered. He quickly sped off on his bicycle. Minakawa now had some material for his surveillance camera piece. He wanted to organize what he'd managed to put together so far. He decided to head towards his next interview location, keeping an eye out for a cafe where he could stop to work on his copy. Right, the cafe that Kano's girlfriend is in, and the maybe, hopefully, father-in-law? Watch Kano get NTR by the end of this thing. He used the map included in the project proposal to guide him. I mean, a lot of these people over here don't look like they're extras or anything. They just look like regular people. It was hard to read the words and make out the details, but it looked like the Nokane building where the Burning Hammer demo was being held was just down Center Guy. Oh, you're gonna go down to where Tama is. There was no indication of which floor the event would be held on, however. That made him a little anxious, but he'd probably be able to find someone to point him in the right direction once he got to the building. Collabo Cafe. Wow, it's a collab cafe. He spotted cafe up ahead. Coffee, please, he shouted as he strode inside. He slumped down in an open chair. What kind of coffee do you want? Americano, espresso, latte, macchiato. There's a lot of coffees. Oh, black? Just black? If he couldn't have it done by then, finishing the whole issue by the end of the day would be a tall order. He pulled a cigarette from his overcoat as he waited for his computer to boot up. Is this a no smoking zone or is it a smoking zone? I know a lot of places in Japan, especially around this time, were smoking everywhere. So maybe he smokes here. So writing mode. The state of being in a mood, in a mood to write some text. As Miraka goes about his job, he switches between writing mode, interview mode, food mode, and sleep mode. When busy, he'll sometimes go into writing mode and food mode at the same time, sometimes even straying into sleep mode in the midst of food mode. When he's even busier, he'll eat and write mid-interview while nodding off. This is known as ultimate mode. Wow. Can you actually do that all at once? Ultimate mode? Having a smoke was Minukawa's little trigger for going into writing mode. He stuck the cigarette in his mouth and lit it up. With the first heavy draw of smoke, he felt his mind focus. The rough idea of his article came to his head nearly fully formed. As he needed to do now was get it all written down. Finally, his laptop finished booting up. "Took you long enough, pal," he muttered to the computer. His hands leapt to the keyboard like a predator pouncing on its prey. In a matter of moments, he had hit his first stride. His fingers clicked away. One by one, lines of text filled up his screen. Gitanis. A waitress stepped up beside him. "Excuse me, sir." But Minakawa was in writing mode. He didn't even hear her. He'll have the sig point instead. Probably, actually. "Sir? Sir, I beg your pardon?" Again, Minakawa was deaf to the waitress's attempts to get his attention. "Sir, excuse me." The waitress smacked the table. "Quiet!" Minakawa snapped. He slammed the table right back. "Don't interrupt me while I'm working. Not if you know what's good for you." "She's cute!" The waitress didn't so much as flinch. She leaned in aggressively, getting right in Minakawa's face. Ikumi Omiya, employee of the Kolabo Cafe. While appearing cute and demure at first glance, she is quite strong-willed and frightening when angry. She works nights at a place called the Scolding Pub, where customers rent private rooms in which they are scolded at length by attractive girls. One middle-aged businessman once told her, "Hey, your face looks simply marvelous when you're angry." Wow. So she not only works here, but she also works at one of those places? She's got it down pat. "Sir, I hate to bother you, but I have to ask you to please refrain from smoking." Minakawa blinked. "Huh?" "It's a non-smoking establishment, sir." "No smoking?" Minakawa asked. The cigarette bubbled in his mouth as he spoke. The waitress pointed sharply to the sign on the wall. "Kinshi! Kin-en, no smoking." The words say, "no smoking," were spelled out clear as day. "We ask that patrons please not smoke so that other customers can fully enjoy the aroma of their coffee." The waitress drew herself up in arrogant triumph. A woman sitting at the table next made a face as she tried to fan the smoke away with her hands. Customers all around the shop were glaring at him. "You guys don't know the first thing about the aroma of coffee," Minorukawa scoffed. Oh wow, he's getting a bit uppity about this. "The scent of coffee only truly comes to life amidst the choking stench of tobacco smoke." The waitress' only response was to jab her finger again. Oh, now she's pointing! There's gonna be a lot of pointing from other people too in this route, apparently. But this time, she didn't point at the side. She pointed to the door. "Sir, if you're going to smoke, please take it outside." He's been kicked out! Wow. Sometime later, sitting inside the cafe LULdog, Minakawa lit up his third cigarette. Oh, he goes into LULdog this time. Oh, the place where the girlfriend is. Wow. At last, a safe refuge. It had taken him quite some time to find a place that allowed smoking after he got kicked out of the first cafe. In recent years, many cafes and restaurants have phased out the concept of smoking section in favor of prohibiting smoking across the board. This makes a place like LULdog especially important to smokers. There are large air vents in the ceiling to help keep the interior more agreeable for those who do not smoke. Now, this was a thing I actually ran into in Japan. Like, people smoking everywhere. They do have smoking sections, they do have smoking booths for smokers, but there are also restaurants that still allowed smoking, right? And there was a long time in U.S. history anyway where smoking was also allowed, and they had like a smoking section before they eventually banned it all across the United States. In Japan, they're slowly getting to that point, but it's slow coming because there's a lot of smokers still, and the tobacco lobby is really pushing really hard to not have that happen. But I guess for the public interest of health and stuff like that, smoking is slowly getting banned completely, except in bars apparently. And bars in izakaya, you will have no smoking section. I think in most cases, or maybe in some places there's going to be a smoking section, but for the most part there's going to be like a vent up above that takes up the smoke, supposedly. However, I was not so lucky in the one time I went into a tiny little izakaya in Shibuya, no less, while visiting some friends. Apparently, the ventilation in that place was not working very well, and so me not having been used to smoke for so many years, apparently my eyes got a little blurry, and also a little bit red at that point, and someone at the table around me asked me if I was okay because they thought I was like nodding off and sleeping, and you know, one of them was Japanese and the other two could speak Japanese and English. So it was like, oh no, is he bored? What's going on here? And then it's like I didn't even notice that I was being affected by the smoke. So I had to, like, when it was pointed out to me, I rushed into the restroom and tried to rub as much smoke, try to wet my eyes as much as possible, so I don't actually get affected by the smoke. But yeah, that's a thing that happens apparently. It wasn't too bad, until I noticed it. I thought I was just getting sleepy at the time because I had like a really long day at the time from Kyoto going to Tokyo, and it was right around bedtime ish for me when we met up, and I thought I was just getting sleepy. I didn't realize I also had stuff getting in my eyes. As far as the smell of smoke, I honestly didn't mind it so much because whenever I go to the Philippines, there's smell of smoke everywhere, and I kind of find it comforting. But the smell of smoke in the US is so strong, I don't like it whatsoever. Japan, though, has a nice similar smell than compared to the Philippines, though the secondhand smoke probably wasn't very pleasant. Anyway, enough of that sidetrack. Now he was in a rush to make up for lost time. His fingers flew all over the keyboard at lightning speed. The more he wrote, the harder he focused. At this rate, he'd have the story wrapped up in no time. Today, you hear me? A voice intruded suddenly on his awareness. One of the other customers was shouting. You're breaking up with that fellow today. Oh no, it's the father-in-law, not quite yet, but still. Minarikawa's fingers drifted to a halt. He looked around to see where the voice had come from. An older man, red in the face, was shouting at the young woman who sat across from him. Please, Dad, the woman pleaded. Stop. You're making a scene. Ah, a father and daughter then. It was rare nowadays to see a father behave so imperiously towards his own daughter. Just how sheltered had he been trying to keep her? Minarikawa couldn't see her face from where he was sitting. But his interest was piqued. Can't be around smokers for long, something about born with weak lungs or something. Yeah, it's especially bad if you have like asthma problems and you get thrown into a culture where smoking is accepted, or at least widely spread out in public spaces. Minarikawa couldn't see her face from where he was sitting, but his interest was piqued. Should he move to another seat where he could take a look? No, he reminded himself that he needed to finish his article. I mean, I don't think it's really your business to take a peek. Just know that it's happening. No, just go on about your business. No, he reminded himself that he needed to finish his article. Besides, if this young lady looked anything like her father, he'd just as soon pass. Okay, so he was actually gonna go for the NTR route if she looked cute enough? Come on. Minorikawa went back to his typing. It took a few minutes to re-establish his writing groove, with the two still bickering across the room. But thankfully, he soon regained his focus. Oh, who's this? What's that? His hands went still as a strange noise intruded on his reverie. Whatever it was close by. What in the world is that sound? Is that a bomb? Is that a bomb? I need to get to the bottom of this or I'll never be able to concentrate. Well, never mind. I need to focus on finishing this article. It might be a bomb. Get to the bottom of it. I need to get to the bottom of this or I'll never be able to concentrate. Just where the heck is that sound coming from? I'm also contending to a beep of my own on my side. Apparently the fire alarm, the fire detector in the living room ran out of batteries or is getting low on battery. I'm not sure what it is. And it's beeping constantly. And I thought it was fixed this morning, but apparently it's still beeping. And I'm hoping the work order I put in for it gets it replaced soon. I would do it myself, but the thing is like 20 feet up in the air, and I don't have a ladder that high. So I kind of need the apartment to take care of it. So maybe they'll be coming in during the stream. Who knows? Hopefully not. He reached his surroundings for a moment and quickly discovered that the noise was coming from his own bag. Why? He pulled out one of the most important tools of his trade, a bug detector. He has one of those? I guess he would. An instrument for finding listening devices. Since wireless listening devices emit radio signals, bug detectors are designed to use wide area receivers to reveal their presence. Using a detector to find something in this fashion is known as fox hunting. I have never heard of that term. It was on and it had picked up a signal. I wonder if I saw the police officers contacting each other. To a reporter, information was life. That made owning a bug detector a sensible precaution in his line of work. With evidence in hand, Minorikawa casually scanned the area. Eventually, he zeroed in on the signal. Wait, to be continued already? He stood up. "Everyone, your attention please," he announced. "Someone set up a listening device in here." Several cafe patrons turned their heads in disbelief. A woman wreathed and pungent perfume flashed him a disagreeable look. Ah, the wife. The Osama wife. "Oh, come on, that's just ridiculous," she huffed. "There's something fishy going on." "The only thing fishy right now is you," the woman declared disdainfully. "Why don't you get out of here and let everyone enjoy their meals?" "No, I smell scoop." "You what?" "You, what's your name?" "None of your business, that's what. Now hurry up and stop that awful noise." The other customers were starting to murmur loudly. "There's a listening device here, folks," Minorikawa said. "How can that not bother you? Do you know where it could be?" "Excuse me," the woman called out. She is nasty. I don't think listening device makes a noise that interrupts the listening, sir. Could someone please do something about this man?" A waitress hurried over. She looks like she's Filipino. "Please, sir, you're bothering our customers. There's a listening device in here. That's what people should be bothered by right now." The waitress took a reflexive step backwards at the words listening device. "You're the one who's intruding on everyone." "Oh, you're the one who's intruding on everyone," the woman shouted. "Honestly, could you please stop that racket?" "It's not me making the racket. It's the bug tracker." "Just who the hell do you think you are?" "Police! Somebody call the police!" "Ma'am, please calm down," the waitress said. "There are other customers here and they're staring at you." This is also a kind of a nice little shop going on here. I like the old-timey decor. "I'll calm down once you get this disrespectful boor out of here." "All I'm doing is sharing the truth. You can't kick me out for that." The waitress wavered, clearly intimidated by both of them. You've sure got a lot of nerve, the woman snapped at Minakawa. Go play detective somewhere else. I'm not a detective. I'm a reporter. There's a big difference. Really now. By far my least favorite profession. Oh ho, and why is that? Did someone write a story about you, lady? Got skeletons in your closet? You shut your mouth. How dare you? Yeah, I smell a scoop here, alright, and the smell is coming from you. Oh, stop it with your scoop nonsense already. It's no use trying to hide things from me. You have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, yes I do, lady. Go to hell. After you. Blah 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 blah. As they shouted over each other, their words blurred together until they were barely words anymore. And onlookers could only hear this indistinct, meaningless raving. And still, the yelling went on and on and on. Eventually, there came the sound of approaching sirens. But even when the police cruiser pulled up outside the cafe, the two didn't slow down their bickering. Is this a bad end? It's a bad end! Wow, okay. What's the hint for this one? What's the hint? Minakawa lost his cool and got drawn into an argument with a stranger, giving no thought to the consequences. By the time he came to his senses, he was in a jail cell. It was too late to save 4-star general gossip. Maybe worrying about weird noises can wait right now. Finish out the article's a better idea. Okay, fine. I guess we can go back a little bit. I was gonna go towards the other routes, but if we can go further into this one, we'll go further into this one. I thought it was a bomb. That's why I reacted to it. But okay, never mind. Just keep focusing on the article. Well, never mind. I need to focus on finishing this article. Minakawa tried to immerse himself in writing again. Before long, he stopped worrying about the curious sound. Is he still gonna get kicked out though? Oh, almost time. Time passed. Eventually, the pace of his writing slowed down a bit and Minakawa glanced at his watch. It was later than he thought. Pretty soon he was going to have to head over to an interview from the diet drink people. He reached into his bag for the project proposal to double-check the demo location. Huh? The proposal, it's gone. Crap, where the heck did it go? He checked all around the table, but he didn't see it anywhere. Maybe he left it at the other cafe, the non-smoking place? Well, he didn't have time to go back for it now. His phone rang. What now? Minakawa snapped as he answered it. A tiny squeak came through the receiver. It was followed by the sound of sniffling sobs. I'm sorry. Chiaki? Was she done with her interviews, maybe? Sound only Chiaki. It's no use. People won't stop to talk no matter how hard I try. Her voice broke up into further sobs. Oh, come on! This again? Really? I can't do it. Don't worry about paying me. Just please let me go home. Minakawa was already operating on a too-tight schedule. He didn't have time to worry about Chiaki on top of it all. Look, just slow down and take a breath. Try and keep at it a little longer. You should have seen this coming when he first called her. Her shyness was practically pathological. But if he cut her loose now, all his frustrations would be for nothing. But I can't do it, Chiaki whined again. Please, just forget you ever called me. Did she ditch? She hung up before Minakawa could get another word in. He tried calling her back, but she didn't pick up. Damn it, Chiaki! Don't you dare bail on me! Leaving money for his coffee on the table, Minakawa jumped and bolted from the cafe. The plaza outside Shibuya Station was as crowded as ever. Minakawa looked around, but there was no sign of Chiaki. She bailed. Minakawa dropped to his knees in despair. No! His last hope has up and left. There was no one else he could even ask. Damn it. Alright then, fine. I'll do it myself. He dragged himself back to his feet. Alright, listen up. Wow, the thing that you're not supposed to do to the Hachiko statue, this guy is doing apparently. I'm not sure if you've seen stuff around Twitter or seen pictures going around the internet. Apparently there was a tourist who was sitting on the Hachiko statue, but this guy's kind of doing the same thing. So it's like, okay, what's going on here? Probably shouldn't be doing that, but did it anyway. He shouted at the passing crowd. I'm doing street interviews here, starting now. You guys, shut up and help me. I mean, don't shut up, but help me. He wound up blowing way too much time just to get 2 pages worth of content, leaving himself unable to finish the other articles. In the end, the issue of 4-star General Gossip never made it to the wet newsstands, and Heaven Publishing went down for the count. And this guy hangs himself again. Well, that happened. Okay, bad end again, and the bad end. Chiaki calls it quits. What now? Without Chiaki, Minorikawa just couldn't get the gossip finished in time. What made her run off, though? Chiaki shows up in Kano's stories at 12:10. One of the decisions there is what ultimately puts her over the edge. I see. Alright then, let me see. What time do we have? I think we can go for maybe one more route. I don't think we're going to be able to like check in on everyone in the remaining time, but we can probably go at least one more. Let's go with Kano next to at least wrap that part up. Alright Kano, what do you got? Kano had been watching Syndicate members hand off the attaché case for an hour and a half. He still had no idea where this relay might be headed. The man he was tailing now was about 10 meters away, close enough that Kano could close the distance and apprehend him at a moment's notice. But his orders remained the same: follow and observe. There are so many handoffs. He watched as the case was handed off once more. By now, the shock of seeing it pass through yet another accomplice had worn off. It's already been 90 minutes, huh? Why is Sasayama still in his otaku outfit? And these guys in the back, are, especially the old lady, is just kind of staring at them. It was Sasayama. At some point, he crept up on Kano from behind. They don't seem like they're trying to get away at all, Kano said. They're just walking. What could they be up to? Sasayama shrugged. Yeah, it's weird. Kano recalled dictum number 89. Dictum number 89. The more irrelevant something seems, the more relevant it's bound to be. If Tatsuno's wisdoms had held true, the Syndicate must have some reason for what it was doing. Were they just trying to throw the investigators off their scent? No, that couldn't be it. They were wandering in circles, staying right in the same area. They were just running up the clock. What if that's exactly what they were after, buying time? Kano felt a sudden conviction that he was on the right track. They needed more time to make sure they got their hands on the ransom payment. Or something else. But wait, hold on. Could it be that? The real case had already been switched out. The ransom money wasn't even in the case at all. The ransom money wasn't even in the case at all? I'm pretty sure they, What if it isn't in the case at all? Could it be that the ransom money wasn't even in the case anymore? I got it. Sasayama perked up. You got what? Each time these crooks hand off the case, they sneak out a bundle of 1,000,000 yen. They keep doing that and eventually the case itself is empty. Of course! That's how they've been playing us. Kano and Sasayama exchange a look. Are you sure? I mean, didn't you guys like take a look at see them pass it off? How could they open it and you guys not notice? How many people would need to make them how many people would need to make the switch for them to get all the money? Sasayama asked. 50 million yen divided by 1 million? That makes 5 people. But it's been more than 5 people. That's it then! No, wait. 50 people. That many? That can't be the deal then, Sasayama said. Guess not. They both sighed in unison. That's not the thought I was thinking, though. The man with the attaché case made his way back to Shibuya Station. The heck? Sasayama grumbled. He's right back where he started. Where we started. Kano felt his frustration growing. It honestly looked like the syndicate was just randomly lugging the case around town. Near Shibuya Station, a girl approached the suspect. Oh, that's Chiaki! We finally get a look at Chiaki. She was Japanese and entirely unlike any other criminal accomplice. She spoke to the man while showing him something on a notepad. He glanced at the pad but did not slow down. Within moments, he had left her behind. She looks pretty cute though, but yeah, on the other hand, it looked like she just passed him a message. Oh, that sure is fishy, Sasayama muttered. What, the girl? Asked Kano. Yeah. Wanna go hit her up? You know, that could be mistaken for something else. Sasayama could only mean one thing. Questioning. Yeah, let's go see what she knows. She can't be involved with this, can she? Nah, she can't be involved with this. Sasayama flashed him a skeptical look. Don't let your preconceptions get the better of you. That could get you killed. Fixed notions could be a hindrance? Okay, actual thing. I know that, but still, she doesn't come across as involved to me. Kano knew better than to judge people based on appearance, but he was still convinced the girl wasn't part of this gang. She stuck him as far too, well, inept, really. Alright, I'll go look into the girl, Sasayama said. You keep following that attaché case. Oh no, should I have gone with him? Kano nodded and hurried after the man. Oh well, we'll find out later. The man's guard made him stand out in front of the crowd at the intersection. It occurred to Kano that all the criminals who'd handled the attaché case had been wearing the same black clothing. But why? That made the whole situation even weirder. Could they really be ignorant that they were being followed while they were all wearing the same eye-catching outfit? It was more likely they were going out of their way to make sure the investigators spotted them. I still didn't provide any clues as to what they were after, though. The longer Kano kept tailing these guys, the less it all made sense. Was it really such a good idea to keep this up? Someone's life was in danger and they were just letting the kidnappers carry out their plan, whatever it was. The very first page of the Dick Diary spelled things loud and clear on that front. Dick dictum number 1. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Ever. Don't lose sight. Don't lose your way. Right now, the single most important thing was ensuring the hostages' safety. This was a situation where Tatano would have stuck to his guns for sure. Kano thought back to that day 3 years ago. Flashback? Younger Tatsuto? A burglar had shut himself inside a financial office and doused the place in gasoline. Kano had just been put into police box duty. Nobody's assigned to a detective post right after graduating from a police academy. Detective positions can be quite hard to come by. Candidates are selected for detective training only after accumulating enough experience working at a local police box, a very small type of neighborhood station manned by only a handful of officers. I see. And was ordered on the scene because his box was just down the street from the standoff. So anyone who's in a police box is more or less, maybe not more or less, you're usually, what do you call this? Probably new, or they just kind of chose that and not becoming a detective, I guess also. You're supposed to steal, not burn? I'm kind of wondering what the situation here was. Several officers surrounded the building, keeping close tabs on the situation. The suspect was shouting nonsense through the entrance of the first floor. Things were getting heated. A crowd of alarmed onlookers started to form as well. Step aside, a voice said suddenly from amidst the throng. They liked that word a lot. A middle-aged man in a rumpled business suit had approached Kano as he hovered nervously at the edge of the scene. I'm sorry, sir, Kano said. You have to stay back for your own safety. He attempted to usher the man back into the crowd. A no-nonsense look crossed the newcomer's face. He spoke in a low voice. I'm Detective Tatano from Shibuya Precinct. What's the situation? Oh, sir, I'm so sorry. Yes, of course. Kano stammered, then quickly explained. He hasn't taken anyone's hostage, but there are still people on the upper floors of the building. Giving only a slight nod, Tatano marched straight up to the building. So there's the role model. The plastic container of gasoline the suspect had used was on the ground out front. Tatano picked it up and dumped the remaining contents out over his head. Let's see. Yeah. Kano was at a loss for words. He couldn't believe what he was just saying. You're gonna go on fire, I'm also gonna go on fire. Maybe it's time to negotiate. I think that's what he's thinking. I've covered myself in gasoline too, Tatano called out from the entryway. The tension in the air ratcheted itself up several notches. Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing? Kano heard the burglar shouting from inside. If you're gonna do it, Tatano called out. We can die together. Are you sure you want to do that? And he walked into the building. All Kano could do was watch things unfold through the plate glass window. Tatano was talking to the burglar, but Kano couldn't make out the words. The crook was clutching a lighter, his hand trembling. His expression was like that of a frightened child. Tatano slowly approached him and took a firm hold of his shaking hand. The onlookers erupted into cheers and applause. Tatano handed the now docile suspect over to the detectives, then wearily sat down against a planter out front. It was like something ripped straight out of a police drama. That was amazing, Kano breathed. You have to deal with guys like that as quickly as you can. You let a situation like this get even a little out of hand and you never know how things might go south on you. Tatano spoke quietly, almost as if he were talking to himself. As the police evacuated the rest of the building, Kano noticed that there were children and elderly people among them. If the perp had managed to set the fire, there was no way they would have escaped in time. But I mean, what if actually set the place on fire? If someone's willing to risk their life, you're not going to convince them of anything unless you do the same. Kano still remembered the awe he'd felt at Tatano's matter-of-fact tone. If someone's willing to risk their life, you're not going to convince them of anything unless you're willing to do the same? I guess so. Kano hadn't become a police officer out of any real sense of duty. He just thought it would make Rumi happy if he became a detective like her father. Besides, civil servants tended to stay afloat in times of recession, and his time playing rugby meant he was in good physical shape for the job. He'd never really thought too much about protecting citizenry or keeping the peace. But now here he was in the presence of a detective who'd literally risked his life in the line of duty without a second thought. A police officer never loses sight of what he's supposed to protect. Ever. Getting back to his feet, Tatano tugged off his gasoline-drenched coat and walked away. And that's when he started writing this stuff. Kano wrote the words in a notebook he just purchased. With a calligraphy pen, nonetheless. Thus, the Dick Diary was born. He always keeps a calligraphy pen on him. I'm surprised he pulls that out specifically. Thinking back to the way Tatano had put his life on the line to rescue a bunch of strangers made Kano feel all the more raw about just tailing the syndicate members. Letting the crooks just wander around wasn't going to bring Maria Osawa to safety. On that, Kano was now certain. Shoot, it's bleeding pretty bad. Heard someone say behind him. Whoa, what happened here? He turned around and saw two young men carrying another along. There was a towel wrapped tightly around the third's head. Hey, what happened? Kano asked. Shut your mouth. Kano blanched. Can the attitude. He's just trying to help. Another voice cut in. Hey, it's Sasayama. It was Sasayama. Had he finished dealing with the girl by the station then? What happened to your friend? Out of my way, man. I ain't afraid to kick your ass. Look, cut the crap and let me take a quick look. Sasayama unwrapped the towel from the young man's head. Oh, that's nasty. The young guy was a little more than a kid. His head was soaked red with blood. He appeared to be unconscious. They couldn't just leave him like this, but they were still in the middle of a job. They should probably call juvenile affairs. They were in the middle of the job, but they couldn't just leave him like this. They should probably take him to a hospital. Nah, take him to a hospital. He needs to go to a hospital. They were in the middle of a job, but they couldn't just leave him like this. They should probably take him to a hospital. Kano offered to help carry the bloodied young man, but Sasayama stepped in front of him. He quickly flashed a 2 uses badge. Oh crap, a cop? You a cop? That smile is not to be trusted, what the heck? Sasayama nodded. Who you kids with? The Bamfs? Who are the Bamfs? Shibuya's number 2 gang. Its leader, Sohei Ikari, has gathered up quite some big mean dudes in an attempt to make Shibuya his turf. The gang's leadership is inferior to that of the SOS, but on an individual level, its members tend to be stronger in a fight. Word is that the rise of the Bamfs is one of the reasons SOS has been growing more combative lately. SOS? SOS. admitted one of the young men after some hesitation. Who attacked you? Yo, it ain't like that. What was it like then? Infighting? The young man was silent. Sasayama must have been right on the mark. In the course of his police duties, Kano picked up a fair amount of street gossip from the young people in Shibuya. Lately, the scuttlebutt about the legendary SOS gang was that they were dealing with some internal strife. Look, don't worry about it. I get it. There's a hospital just down that way. Hurry up and get in there. The young man batted off Sasayama's offered hand, then quickly hauled his friend away. Sounds like SOS is on the verge of breaking up with all this infighting, huh? Kano asked. He kept his eyes on the young man as they headed off. Yeah, seems like it's been pretty rough. You know, was with the original leader leaving and all that. The detectives in juvenile affairs were well acquainted with SOS's original leader. That would be Achi Endo, our other protagonist. Initially, SOS was nothing more than a small group of like-minded young people who hung out together. But as its membership grew, the general public began referring to the group as a gang. Word has it that back when Achi was in charge, gang members never started any conflicts themselves, but simply responded in kind when others brought fights their way. The stories were like something out of some after-school special. There were tales of them taking down gangs who sold off drugs to kids, or breaking into Yakuza front offices to save their friends. Wow. The detectives in with juvenile affairs took these stories with a grain of salt, but if there were really young people like that out there, Kano hoped to meet them someday. Well, Achi is definitely extremely selfless. Hey, it's this guy again. The detectives had to hurry up to catch up with a man they were tailing. He was still strolling along, seemingly in no particular hurry. They kept him in sight as he crossed another pedestrian overpass and circled back around. Still following the same MO, huh? Sasayama grumbled. Guess so, Kano said. How'd things go with the girl? He was careful not to take his eyes off the mark as they talked. You were right. She's not part of this. Just one of those street evangelists or something. I don't think she's a street evangelist. That might be Chiaki. Oh yeah? Yeah, she kept asking me, but are you really happy with your life? Wigged me out. I bailed out of there quick. If that was Chiaki, that was probably the worst way to try to get an interview. But, okay. That actually probably was Chiaki. So, Sasayama. I'm thinking that attaché case is going to get handed off again at any moment now. Huh? Sasayama appeared at the mark, who was scanning the plaza he just entered, apparently looking for someone. I take one side, you take the other? Kano suggested. Sasayama's eyes went wide. Say what now? That way we apprehend both persons involved in the handoff. Sasayama didn't reply. Look, HQ isn't thinking about the hostage's safety, Kano said. But that needs to take priority here. Sasayama's face took on a rare solemnity. Disobeying a direct order is not something to do lightly. A detective's behavior is governed by the local Public Service Act. Article 32 states that a detective is to faithfully follow the orders of his superior in the course of his duties. Violating this is punishable by a warning, reduction in pay, suspension from duty, or dismissal. In the event of a warning, not only is the individual expected to submit a formal letter of apology, but pay raises may be delayed or performance bonuses cut. Because they can't just fire them out entirely, like right away, I guess. But it's true though. You gotta listen to your peers here. Then after a moment he added, I'm on board. I'm sick of all this wandering around anyway. That's a Sasayama I know, Kano replied with a chuckle. Sasayama gave him a silent thumbs up. Okay, who's calling who? The two detectives took up position on the opposite sides of the plaza. Kano called up Sasayama on his cell phone. You ready? He asked. Just give the word. There were only two non-Japanese people in the nearby crowd. Both were eyeing their surroundings anxiously. Kano was certain the handoff was about to take place. And then... Well, if it isn't Mr. Toyama! Kano's ears perked up at the sound of aggressive greeting, the voice dripping with feigned cheer. Toyama from the gossip place? Oh, the loan sharks! Apparently have more than one target today. He whirled around to see two rough-looking young men confronting a father and his daughter. The older man looked pained. Please, just hold on, he said placatingly. Oh, the guy in the bottom. I thought we agreed on 4 o'clock. The young man snarled. Don't you try and play dumb with us, buddy. It's nothing like that, I swear. My girl was just hungry, so I just stepped out to... Yeah? How come you didn't just order delivery, huh? Yes, that's right. I suppose that would work too. Don't you me, man. Kano watched the argument uneasily. The stranger's altercation put him in a bit of a spot. The crook he was tailing probably wouldn't risk handing off the case with an uproar like this going on. What's going on over there? Sasayama asked. Oh, Sasayama actually steps up? I'm not sure, Kano replied. Looks like some kind of argument. The suspects are gonna get wary on us. It's gonna screw up the whole handoff. Yeah, I know. So do something about it and get over here, Sasayama said. What? Find some way to shut them up and then get over here. Oh, sure, alright. Kano headed towards the argument. Oh, we don't even get a choice, we just go? He was only halfway there when Sasayama called again. He sounded panicked. Hey, Kano! He made a run for it. Huh? Oh crap! The man they'd been tailing had vanished in the brief time Kano had taken his eyes off of him. Wait up! Kano shouted. Sasayama was racing after the suspect and rushed towards to join him, with anime goods in tow, or at least a bag that looks like it could have anime goods. The man was surprisingly quick, however, and neither detective managed to catch up. In fact, they soon lost sight of him amidst the teeming crowds. Frantically, they dashed through the streets as fast as hard as they could, but they never catched him. So we're gonna have to like lead the... Let me guess, we're gonna have to lead the loan sharks to another place? We lost him, Sasayama admitted at last. Damn it! He stamped his foot on the asphalt in disgust. Director Kuze? Kano gasped over the wireless. I'm sorry, but we lost a man with that attaché case. There was a heavy sigh on the other end of the line. Kano braced himself. He wasn't going to be able to weasel out of this one with just a I'll do better next time.
Sasayama, Kano, get your asses back to the precinct. Kuze out.
With that, Kuze switched off the line. Disciplinary? Back to the precinct. Kano knew full well what that meant. They were off the case. There was a gnawing in his gut. If those two punks hadn't showed up, no. If that father and his daughter hadn't turned up, he might have been able to apprehend the suspect. I don't get you down, Sasema said. I mean, paper pushing can be kind of fun. The look on his face, however, suggested he didn't think it was fun at all, not one bit. With the air of the two men heading to an execution, Kano and Sasayama trudged back towards the Shibuya precinct. They didn't actually violate any orders. I mean, true. So we need to find someone else who can lead them off in a different route. Let me see. What hint do we have? Certain someone needs to give those two some better advice, and a certain someone needs to meet up with them outside his or her house. Both those are key to changing poor Kano's fate. Okay, well then. Let's see. Do we have time for one more here? I think we have time for one more. We'll go for one actual last one. Let's see. I think Osama is gonna be last regardless. So let's maybe check up on Achi and see what he's up to. Last time we saw Achi, he was being chased by a gunman. We'll come back to Tama next time. Achi and Hitomi scampered through the back roads along Center Guy, white sneakers and pumps slapping on the pavement. Achi kept his eyes peeled, continually checking ahead and checking as they darted through the gaps between the buildings. Eventually they stopped in a narrow alley. "There's no way he'll find us here," he said. "No one knows about this place." He took another look around and let out a sigh of relief. It seemed they'd managed to shake the gunman for now. That is a tiny alleyway. I'm surprised people even fit through there. Back when Achi was with SOS, he had come through Center Guy practically every day. What's different this time? Studs for Shibuya. Okay, same information as before. The gang had started out as a little bit more than a group of local teens. They didn't do much in particular, just horsing around and killing time. What mattered was that they were having fun. But it wasn't long before it wasn't all fun and games. Achi couldn't help but notice the Slavs who were making a mess of Shibuya, dirtying it all up. He wasn't about to let them get away with it. Most frequently, it was folks who tossed cigarette butts out on the street or plastered walls in graffiti. When they didn't respond to his more gentle warnings, he found slightly more forceful ways of getting his point across. SOS got a reputation. Street punks started to pick fights with its members. Those guys required a bit more force to handle. And when it came to the worst of the lot, the drug dealers, the muggers, the guys who tried to force themselves on women, it was full-on battle, no holds barred. Yeah, I think he does have he doesn't think things through. He's also not very smart, but mostly doesn't think things through. Before long, SOS has established itself as something of a vigilante corps. Soon it became known as one of the biggest gangs in Shibuya. All through sheer dumb luck. "Let's lay low here for a bit and see what happens," Achi said. The alley where they hid was like a dimly lit chasm, obscuring them from view. The only problem now was figuring out what to do next. They needed to find that blue van again, which meant figuring out the best way to get back to Dobenzaka without the man with a cane catching them once more. "Oh, what now?" "Achi," Hitomi whispered. "I think I can handle myself from here." She got to her feet and gave Achi a deep bow. "Whoa!" Achi held up a hand. "We've been over this already. You're not gonna be okay. That guy has a gun." If he let her go up against the assassin alone, he might as well be the one to pull the trigger himself. "Thank you so much for everything you've done for me," Hitomi continued, as if she hadn't heard him. She started to shuffle out of the alleyway. "Hey, what did I just say?" "Really, Achi, I appreciate your concern, but I can't in good conscience put you in danger anymore." "But, Achi tried to press the point, but Hitomi cut him off. "Well, he's kind of involved now. The gunman knows what he looks like." "There's no good reason for you to risk yourself to keep helping me." "Yes, there is. It's for love." Her tone was resolute. But Achi was determined to help her anyway. He refused to back down. Achi knew she had a point and decided to back off. "No. Do not back down." Still, Achi was determined to help her anyway. He refused to back down. Look, I want to help people who are in trouble. What's so wrong about that? Huh? He locked eyes with Hitomi, willing her to understand. Okay, willing her to understand. I'm not the most dependable guy, I know that. But still, Hitomi dropped her gaze and Achi trailed off, feeling like an idiot. Oh, it's no use. I'm no use. He hung his head with a sigh. Oh, what's now? Just then, a bit of light shone into the alleyway from above. It looked like someone on the adjacent building's upper floor had turned on the lights. Wait, building? What building is this? Nokane Building, multi-tenant building, 7 floors, decade-old urban legend. Tells of a mysterious 13th floor. Diet aid sales demo? Wait, I don't think we can jump yet, but I think this goes into Tama? Oh, we can't jump yet! We haven't unlocked that block! Oh no! Okay, we'll come back to this later. The light illuminated Hitomi's face. When Achi saw the look in her eyes, he considered his decision. He was trying her hardest to hide it, but she was clearly terrified. No way was he letting her go back out there alone. Still, if he tried to insist, she would only refuse him again. Hitomi? Humor me for a second here. Tell me, what's the proper way to dispose of a plastic bottle? She stared at him in surprise. Well, first you remove the cap and the wrapper. Then you rinse out the inside and then crush it. Now, most people in any other place in the world would probably just toss an entire bottle, just like that. But in Japan, it's a little bit more convoluted than that. Unless you find a public trash can, and then you can just kind of just toss the entire thing. But if you're doing this at your home, it's a lot more complicated. Achi let out the breath he'd been holding. Okay, good. Huh? I don't understand. What's good? Yeah, I think though the caps with a bottle thing, I'm not sure if they do this separately, but what I normally do when I toss out plastic bottles is if I can crush it, I take off the bottle and then crush the bottle so it doesn't occupy too much space in the trash can. That's just my way of like making more room in the trash can, either at home or outside. It's just a habit I've kind of picked up after seeing so many crushed plastic bottles in Japan. Now, whether or not, and you know, if you're trying to cram as many plastic bottles in your own trash can, that's probably the best way to do it. Same thing with regular tin cans, by the way. You gave me my reason why I have to help you out. I super respect people who respect the environment. I'm not one of those whatchamacallits, I'm an environmentalist. I'm one of those whatchamacallits. Oh, he is one of them. Achi pointed to his mean, clean t-shirt. Hitomi hesitated. And what was your plan if I said the answer was to toss the plastic inside the trash? Well, then I'd need to stick with you to help teach you. Basically, with her regardless. Environmental awareness begins with good education. So then you were going to tag along with me regardless. Look, I'm just super pumped to learn that you care so much about proper recycling. Achi cracked a huge grin. Wow! Really? We're doing romance here? I mean, this is the romance route, essentially. Okay, then. Okay? If you're really sure about it, I guess I could use your help just a little bit longer. Hitomi flashed him a little smile. Man, she's so cute, Achi thought. Yeah? Then something else caught his eye. Huh? What's that? You are the last person I would expect pointing. What's what? What's that there? It looked like something black was stuck on top of her head. Achi, what are you staring at? You got something stuck there. What, on my head? Without thinking, Hitomi reached up and plucked it off. A cockroach! You would think you'd be able to see that. Okay. It was about 10 centimeters long. Its body glistened black, sporting feelers and several pairs of legs. It began to writhe and wriggle between Hitomi's slender fingers. Achi yelped, "It's a cockroach!" He jumped backward, but Hitomi didn't so much as flinch. "Phew, sorry, that gave me a bit of a start," he continued. Oh, that was him. "Guess it must have fallen off from one of those windows up there." Still, Hitomi did not move. Hitomi? A literal bug? She didn't appear to hear him. Hello, Hitomi? I think she froze. I think she froze in shock. With muffled gargle, Hitomi passed out on the spot, her body as stiff as a mannequin. What? Hitomi, are you okay? Hitomi! 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 But no matter how loudly Achi called her name, Hitomi would not come to. Bad end. Cockroach end. Really? Please tell me it's not a bad end. What is this? From that day onward, Achi devoted even more of his time and energy to collecting trash. It became his personal passion to see that his city was a clean one, devoid of cockroaches. That was a mandate he had been handed, or if nothing else, his atonement. What is this? Bad end. The cockroach. What the heck? Excuse me? Hitomi passed out after a cockroach fell. Wait, hold on. What's? No! I need to see the hint. I need to see the hint. Ah, crap. I need to see the hint. What was the hint? What was the hint? Let's see. What was it? Bad ending list. Okay, you can stop. You can stop doing that. Achi over here. Hitomi passed out after a cockroach fell onto her head out of nowhere. And, yeah, they were right underneath the Nokani building where they were selling the burning hammer. A cat and a cockroach had been fighting it out on the upper floors. The cat was victorious, but if it had run away instead, things would have turned out differently down below. I see. Also, thank you for the tip. I think I just heard the notification. We're gonna stop it here. As much as I would like to check out Tama's route. Go back. As much as I would like to get to Tama's route and see the cockroach fight, that is an interesting thumbnail right there. I actually kind of want to take that as a thumbnail. But let's see. What is a thumbnail? Okay, stop with the guides. Stop with the guides. Okay, so I was hoping we could like get that picture right away, but I guess not. That's probably a little bit later. Yeah, it's like from Death Note. She literally took a potato chip and ate it. It's kind of amazing actually. Anyway, we are gonna stop here for today. I think we went quite a bit. I would like to go further if possible, but I think this is good. It's good. So yeah, thank you all guys for watching and tuning into this ridiculous story. We are gonna hopefully wrap up this chapter next week. We should be able to wrap this chapter up next week because it's fairly straightforward, and then we'll see what the next one brings in. But yes, ooh, crap. Alright, I guess I'll take care of that later. Alright, no, don't worry about it. Anyway, Yeah, anyways, I will be back again tomorrow for our music showcase for Blue Archive. So if you want to drop by for that, or if you are dropping by for that and have any suggestions on what you want me to, what do you call this? What you want me to showcase on stream, let me know. The form should be in the community tab somewhere. I don't think I put too much on there, but yeah, it should be there somewhere. Other than that, I'll see you all later. Bye everyone, have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna go get some lunch because I haven't eaten yet. Bye bye everyone.